Chart. Number 4, catcher Alyssa Colano. Number 2, shortstop Bella Kaiser. Number 6, pitcher Alyson Colano. Number 17, left fielder Libby Weller. The extra players, number 7, Chloe Mellenberger. Number 8, Alexis Shera. Number 11, Riley Mueller. Number 12, Michaela Workus. And the coaches are Kevin Brown and Hannah Scherfus. Now the lineup for the Assumption Royals. Leading off, number 21, shortstop Dana Schooley. Number 24, second baseman Ari Kavanaugh. Number 1, catcher Claire Nelson. Number 2, pitcher Macy Ballard. Number 8, center fielder Lydia Smits. Number 25, the designated player Jess Norton. Number 31, right fielder Lexi Stofflet. Number 33, third baseman Madison Moss. Number 5, third baseman Delaney Hahn. The flex, number 3, left fielder Jordan Jaglinski. The extra players are Kylie Carroll, that's number 10, number 13, Alexa Gilson, and number 20, Lila Fisher. The coaches are Charlie Nelson and Rob Schill and Brittany Pfluger. Now please bow your heads for a prayer in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Lord, please protect both of these teams, Assumption and Edgar, as they play their hearts out tonight. At the end of the games, all the glory will be given to you. We thank you, and we pray all of these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Now, if you would please rise, remove your hats, put your hands over your hearts for the playing of the national anthem.
All right, welcome to Robinson Field here in Wisconsin Rapids. We get you ready for Merriwood South girls softball here on Zaleski Sports. Pregame show brought to you by Nakusa Port Edward State Bank. At the Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, you can expect an experience filled with individualized personal care unique to you and your business. Their more than 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area makes them your neighbors, your friends, and your family. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. Steve Ebbs alongside Paul Jaglinski here this afternoon in Wisconsin Rapids. Gorgeous afternoon here in central Wisconsin. Paul, Assumption coming off of a very impressive split over Auburndale and then a tough loss, a sweep against Mosinee on Saturday. But getting right back into conference play here this afternoon into this evening with this doubleheader. What can you expect here this afternoon?
Well, I think one of the things that you wonder about with the young team, Steve, is you're talking 6 games in a matter of 4 days. So you played 2 Friday night late, then you turned around and played 2 Saturday morning. I think Coach Nelson will be the first to tell you that they probably were not as sharp on Saturday morning as what he would have wanted them to be. I think collectively the team had 11 errors over the course of the ball game there. So coming back to conference play here on Monday, I think one of the things that you'll see with the young team is, one, do you get the focus, and 2, can you build off the momentum for Auburndale? I think equally important, though, Steve, is you think about the Wildcats of Edgar coming off of an extremely impressive year last year. The outlook changed for them in the middle of February when Michaela Workus, their all-conference, all-state pitcher, went ahead and ended up with an injury and surgery. And as a result, you've got now a younger Wildcat team. And as we talk a lot in high school softball, you typically go as far as your pitcher and your catcher will go. So not the name that we're used to seeing on the mound from Edgar, but we'll see with how these young cats respond in today's contest.
Yeah, we'll talk about that throughout the broadcast, just the significance of the loss of Michaela Workus is not just to the Wildcats, but to the whole conference. It's a big-time loss here in the Merriwood South. Macy Vollert in the circle, and the first offering to Taylor Lemmer misses outside here at 4:44 in the afternoon. A lot of familiar names if you are a Zaleski Sports viewer throughout the last number of years from both sides. Lemmer, one of them. Morgan Strevler, Macy Yonker, Emery Borkart. A lot of very familiar names. A lot of very familiar names from Edgar. Macy Vollert, 2 balls and 1 strike early here in the top of the first inning. Beautiful afternoon. We'll get into our schedule tomorrow. It has been changed significantly with stuff forecasted, anticipated for storms tomorrow. We'll get into all that later on. Today we got 2 games for you, so we got plenty of time. And Vollert comes back and count runs full.
Macy looking for her first win on the year. I thought she threw really well against Sevastopol the first game when we saw her, where she had 9 Ks in 4 innings. Was kind of the victim of a tough loss against Auburndale. But her pinpoint control has been really something that's been an accuracy improvement from where she was at this time last year. She strikes out the first batter with Lemmer after falling behind in a 3-1 count. So Macy dialed in early, going ahead and knocking it down. That brings up our second batter of the game, number 5, the right fielder, Brandy Helverson.
Yeah, the 2 games that we've seen, Sevastopol and Auburndale, both 9 strikeout performances for Vollert as Helverson tries the bunt and fouls it off. We did have the games for you on Saturday. I was not there. I was over. Speaking of strikeouts, we'll get into that. The 4 games that I had Friday and Saturday, probably a combined 50, a lot of strikeouts. I mean, Morgan Griesbach from Auburndale had a combined 25 in her 2 outings. Had Gage Honeyegger from Wisconsin Rapids have 17 in a game in baseball. A lot of strikeouts this year so far.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how Morgan Griesbach matches up against the rest of the conference, just based on how impressive she was the other night. Steve, the loss of Workus for Edgar, and we're going to see how this young Cats team looks. So maybe they have an excellent number 2 pitcher, and they'll be strong. But the loss of Workus, I can only equivalate in this area to the equivalent of losing Timmerman up in Lakeland, where she was such a good hitter for you. She was such a dominating pitcher. I think Michaela is committed to a Division II school somewhere to pitch. So just a huge loss. I don't know how you can really replace that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, as you mentioned, not just in the circle, excellent batter, very fast. She do-it-all athlete.
A senior, so you get a natural leader. I mean, again, she had led her team down to a state tournament appearance. Is that last year or 2 years ago already?
2 years ago.
Time flies when you're having fun. Again, Helverson fell down 1 ball, 2 strikes, worked it full. Just like the first batter, Macy went ahead and was able to get her at the full count with strike 3. So now that brings up our third hitter, number 15, Morgan Strevler. She's your third baseman of the day. Vollert looking to strike out the side here in the top of the first inning. thank you to all of our sponsors and everybody joining us at home. We really appreciate it here on Zaleski Sports.
Strevler, I believe, pitched. We had a triangular up in Marathon a couple of weekends ago, and I think she may have been one of the pitchers as well against that the games that Jason Zaleski did at Marathon, and I think Strevler threw some innings for Edgar as well. So we'll see. I mean, a lot of softball to be played here today, and see how they come out this in game one. Vollert fell behind 2-0 and blew it past Strevler 2-1.
You know, not many teams are as fortunate as the Royals, where you have Vollert and Kavanaugh, where you've got that type of pitching depth. You know, for a lot of these smaller schools, you have one significant stud pitcher, and then, you know, there's a drop-off. There's other kids that can throw innings, but you don't necessarily get the same level of consistency that you do with Vollert and Kavanaugh. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Vollert looking to go ahead and strike out the side. Again, Morgan Strevler at the plate.
The 2-2 for Macy. It popped up. Look out, straight back here behind us, and a run remains. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I had you, Steve. You didn't have to be concerned. I had you. The camera was in trouble, but I had you. So. Shout out to Jason Zaleski, the final boss out there. Where's he calling on today?
It's moving day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
New home for Zaleski Sports over in Plover.
Yep.
Have outgrown the downtown facility due to all of our wonderful fans and sponsors, and are moving just a couple miles down the road out to Plover.
And that was going to be lined hard to left field. So 3-3-2 counts here in the inning. And the first hit of the game for Edgar goes to Morgan Strevler. Now Macy Yonker, the first baseman.
Hard hit line drive over the head of Anna Schooley. Jordan Jaglinski did a nice job of going ahead and keeping that ball in front, getting it back in, keeping her at first base. But now we've got a runner on first base with 2 outs. Brings up the cleanup hitter, number 16, Macy Yonker. Left-handed stick.
Going to be to Schooley across, and will retire Yonker at first. So nothing doing here in the first for Edgar. No runs on a hit. They leave 1. We have played a half an inning. It's Edgar 0. Assumption coming up. Watching high school softball, Zaleski Sports.
What sets Nakusa Port Edward State Bank apart from other Wisconsin banks far beyond rates and financial services? You can expect an experience filled with individualized personal care unique to you and your business. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank has over 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area, local small and mid-sized businesses, while proudly supporting so many community projects over the years. They're your neighbors, your friends, and you'll find them actively serving communities where we work, live, and play. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sports Den, located on Marshfield's sunny south side since 1975. The Sports Den has the area's best selection of outdoor equipment. Find top brands of snowshoes, cross-country and downhill skis, snowboards, swimming equipment, skateboards, and more. The Sports Den has a full-service bike repair center along with top bike brands, Specialized, Trek, and others. The Sports Den is Central Wisconsin's fat bike headquarters. Visit the Sports Den in Marshfield Monday through Saturday and thesportsden.net.
Bottom of the first inning, welcome back to Robinson Field here at Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids on a beautiful day where the Edgar Wildcats are taking on the Assumption Royals. Assumption was able to get out of the top of the first inning with a scoreless frame, and now it's going to bring up the top of the order for the Royals. Anna Schooley will lead us off, followed by Ari Kavanaugh, Claire Nelson, and if anybody reaches base, Macy Vollert. Assumption 1-4 early on the season. Early season loss to Sevastopol, split with Auburndale, and then 2 losses on Saturday to a really good ranked Division II, I believe, Mosinee squad, if I'm not mistaken. I think that the most recent WIS Sports poll has got them top 5 in the state, maybe 3 if I'm not mistaken. Steve's going to confirm or deny that in a little bit, but I know that the Mosinee team is ranked in Division II.
Yeah, and led by a very good pitcher in Ava Bussey for the Indians this year, and
an all-world shortstop and Tegan Jersley, yes. I was trying to think of it in terms of where it goes. She's got really nice increased power this year. She's hitting the ball hard, fast, super fast, going to be a heck of a ball player, three-sport athlete. Actually, technically 4, because I think she also runs track too, so she does it all. 2 balls and 1 strike here, bottom of the first inning. Schooley has gone ahead and worked ahead in the count.
Yeah, I think a track or a state track participant. I think they made it to state last year in track.
Yeah, I think she was part of a relay squad that made it, if I'm not mistaken. On the mound, by the way, for Edgar is number 4, Alyssa Colano. She is no. Do I have that right?
No, this one. Yeah, Alyssa.
Gotcha. Number 6. Excuse me. That was my mistake. I'm old and it's tough views. But she's number 6, Alyssa Colano, on the mound for the Wildcats. Schooley, she's worked on 3 balls, 2 strikes count on Anna Schooley.
Colano fires home. Look out over there. And Charlie Nelson off the ricochet, almost able to snag it.
Anna was out in front of it, but definitely put the barrel on the bat. In fact, she was so far out in front of it, she almost put the barrel on the bat twice, Steve. So, but 3 balls, 2 strikes, bottom of the first inning, and a scoreless game between the Royals and the Wildcats.
3-2, tried the off-speed pitch and missed, and the Royals have a leadoff base runner, and we mentioned it numerous times on Friday, just how big of an asset Anna Schooley is to have at that leadoff spot. Very fast, very strong, and just one heck of an athlete to have on the base paths.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening with it here. We'll see if Coach Nelson and Coach Shield go ahead and get aggressive with Anna on this first pitch, or if they try to advance her perhaps with the bunt.
The first one misses out. Oh, good for a strike to Kavanaugh.
Expanding that zone, Steve. Expanding the zone. Again, we're a little bit off center of plate from that regard, so it's not as easy as what you'd think to go ahead and see the umpire and kind of the field on that. So 1 strike the count, no outs.
Squares the bunt that time, and nothing in 2 to Kavanaugh. Nelson on deck, then Vollert, Smits, Norton, Stofflet, Moss, and Hahn. For the
Kavanaugh steps out and calls time. Dug herself an early no-ball 2-strike hole here. Schooley on first, bottom of the first inning, no score. We'll see with what Coach Nelson has to do.
Kavanaugh fouls it straight back. Remains nothing in 2. Have a couple of other games on the network tonight. Adams Friendship is at Pacelli in baseball. We've got Marshfield and Wausau West softball. Columbus Catholic is at Regis in baseball. I think that might be it.
I'll tell you, that Columbus Catholic Regis game is a sneaky good game.
And that one's high and off the glove of Colano, and
Anna was in straight steal mode there and took a significant lead off of first base as that ball got off of Colano's glove. And I think Anna was hopeful that maybe she was going to throw it or convince her to panic in. Nice job by Colano to go ahead and keep her to just 1 base of advance.
The 1-2 swung on and missed, and Kavanaugh strikes out here with 1 away and a runner at second. 1 up and 1 away with a runner at second.
And it brings up the hot-hitting Claire Nelson, the Missouri Western State Griffins, go Griffs, hashtag, commit for the Royals here. But Claire has definitely been the Royals' most productive hitter early in the season, and you can see she has moved way up in the box to go ahead and ensure she's getting in charge of the timing.
Going to loop this one to shallow center field and making the catch. Schooley's going to tag. The throw to third is not quite in time. Good throw out there by Taylor Lemmer, but now Assumption with the runner at third, but now 2 outs.
Steve, we've seen a pass ball already on that, so that's one of those little we'll call them winning plays, hustle plays. Anna Schooley, she gets a walk, she steals second, gets a tag up, advances to third, and now any form of pass ball or perhaps infield single, and she gets a chance to go ahead and score.
Check swing foul there by Vollert.
Macy Vollert at the plate, the 4-hitter for the Royals, up on the year. So 2 outs, 0-1 is the count, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
Colano comes in and fires home. That was going to be hit hard and into left center field. Assumption will take the lead. Vollert gets it all the way to the wall, and an RBI double there for Macy Vollert, helping her own cause there. And the Royals take a 1-0 lead.
Really a nice piece of hitting by Vollert. Kept her hands back, found a pitch she could drive that was a little bit up in the zone, and hit a nice hard hit line drive between the left and center field to get the Royals on the board 1-0. And up comes senior Lydia Schmitz, the lone senior on the team. We'll have to nickname her maybe Senior. So.
Offering to Lydia is going to be lined to right. That's trouble. That one's going to get down. And Macy Voller will score, and a confidence-boosting hit there for Lydia Smits.
Lydia had 2 hits off of Ava Bussey on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm doing this so if no hate chat, if I'm not mistaken, my inside source Greg Scott from Mosinee Softball tells me that Lydia Schmidt had the only 2 hits off of Ava Bussey, and she continues that hot hitting today. So good to see Lydia getting hot with the stick and giving the Royals a 2-0 lead.
Absolutely. The first offering to Jess Norton is lined into center field. Station to station, and it's a base hit for Jess Norton.
So Jess Norton, the designated player with a nice hit. And
Now batting number 31, right fielder Lexi Stofflet.
Coach Nelson going to choose to let Jess go ahead and Coach Nelson going to choose to let Jess Norton go ahead and run. He was looking over at Coach Schill. I'm not sure if there was some form of conversation that was potentially going to happen between the two, but one way or the other, runners on first and second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Royals up 2-0.
0-1. Lexi Stofflet looks at a strike on the outside corner. Lexi had a great night against Auburndale on Friday in her varsity debut. It was on base quite a bit. Nice plays in right field. The 0-2. Going to be lined to right and drifting foul, and it remains 0-2.
You can hear Edgar's coach encouraging his young pitcher, which is, hey, you've got a big lead, nothing too good. See if she'll chase something out of the zone.
The 0-2. Tried that and missed.
That's a good miss. So,
Yep.
Steve, I think one of the things that we've seen going back to Griesbach the other night is being able to control the pitch, working high and low, standing in that zone is so important.
Right here towards us. Look out. Remains 1-2.
Lexi doing a good job going ahead and getting the bat on the ball, fighting off with 2 strikes to go ahead and extend the count.
The 1-2 to Stofflet. Okay, swung on and missed. Colano strikes out a couple, but Assumption strikes here in the first. A couple of runs on 3 hits. They leave 2. We have played an inning complete. 2-0 Assumption. Back after this. Zaleski Sports.
Business owners share so many challenges, but there's one challenge that has an easy solution. Branding your business with creative graphics and a plethora of effective print marketing options is as easy as Quality Plus Printing. With over 30 years of marketing expertise and a track record of happy customers, you can trust in Quality Plus Printing to develop the perfect brand for you. As a business owner, you have enough to focus on. Give yourself a break and trust in Quality Plus Printing on 8th Street in Wisconsin Rapids, or find us at qpprinting.com. That's qpprinting.com.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.
Welcome back here to Robinson Field in Wisconsin Rapids on a beautiful sunny day. A beautiful sunny Monday. I feel like it's a sunny Monday. Anyway, 2-0 Royals with the early lead, top of the second inning here. Macy Vollard on the plate.
Emery Borkart at the plate. Pretty familiar and very athletic name in the Edgar athletic family. The Borkarts And Vollard quickly ahead, 0-2.
Steve, Stop Construction is the premier builder of municipal and industrial water and wastewater treatment systems in the Midwest. Stop Construction, 100% employee-owned company.
Vollard's ahead, 0-2. Just a bit outside, 1-2. Brewers back in action tonight against the I think San Diego Padres. I think they're at home this week to start. Padres and Cardinals this week. The 1-2.
That feels like it's got a religious feel to it. Padres and Cardinals, and if they play the Priests, we'll really know it's kind of all set to go. It still goes back to one of my favorite all-time ESPN commercials was the Sports Center commercial where he was waiting for the New Jersey Devil in the elevator going up, and the Devil goes, no, and Stuart Scott steps out and kind of goes, no, I don't think so. Still love that one. Macy Vollard again, 3-2. I think actually Macy could save herself some time and work every count 3-2 and then just throw it from there. But the Wildcats are doing a really great job extending that count.
And a walk fought all the way back to Borkhardt. And the second base runner, speaking of Stuart Scott, announced today that the mothership, a.k.a. ESPN, is going to make a 30 for 30 feature on Stuart Scott.
Yeah, I think actually one of the early titles that they've released on that has been entitled Booyah. It looks really interesting.
Line drive off the glove of Vollert. They are safe at second. Tie goes to the runner. And there's going to be runners at first and second.
Coach Nelson going to go ahead and call a time. I think he's going to come out and ask for an explanation on that. From the naked eye, it appears that Anna was able to beat her to the base. The umpires are going to confer to see if they have anything different. That's a bang-bang play.
Yeah.
You know, again, that's a 50-50, maybe a 55-45. But from the naked eye, it sure looked like Anna – it was very close. Look at it that way.
Absolutely.
I think if you were to go to the Major League replay, you'd go to the replay. And the umpires have talked and decided to go ahead and change the call, which I think is probably the right call from –
When I said it down.
Runner at first after the out call at second base, and Kaiser quickly behind 0-2. This is exactly where Edgar batters have wanted Macy Vollard ahead in the count, and then they usually come all the way back, and now there's going to be a courtesy runner here. It's going to be Alexi Shara, the runner at first base. Again, don't want to put all umpires in the same realm, but I don't know if you've seen the highlights or whatnot of what Angel Hernandez did this last weekend.
All I can say when it comes to Angel Hernandez is that I understand these are the best in the business, Steve, so they should probably get it. But, I mean, when you've got somebody throwing 96, 97, 98 miles an hour consistently the way that goes, I wonder if you're not that far away from a robot umpire just for things like strike zone, because there's no reason to not use that technology at this point.
The 0-2 has popped up to Kavanaugh. She's going to make the catch with a couple of steps on the grass, and there's two away. As the biggest thing for Hernandez this last weekend
Now batting number 6, pitcher Ellison Colano.
was that the three pitches that he called against, I think it was the Texas Rangers batter, were 6.5 inches off the plate, and he called them all strikes. So that's They weren't great.
Well, one thing that you can say about that is that he is consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
That being stated again, just going back to that play, I actually think that's a really nice piece of umpiring by this particular crew. That was a hard hit line drive. There was a hard hit line drive that came off of Macy Voller's glove. So first of all, great play by Macy to go ahead and rob a base hit, because if not, that's up the middle of the field. Anna picked up the ball, and it was a really alert play. Macy was on the bag, umpire in that B position, which is where he should be. It's a bang-bang play that you take a look at it there. Coach Nelson came out and asked, from home, do you have any kind of a different angle? They got together, they talked about it, and ultimately they decided they have the same look at it that we did.
Yep.
And from our side of it, Steve, it appeared like she beat her by, I would say, a pretty much full step.
Yep.
But they talked about it, made the call, got it right. Again, compliments to the crew for being willing to do that.
1-2 throw down to second, and caught stealing is going to be the call on that one. So nothing issued or no damage done against Assumption here in the second inning. No runs, no hits. There were no errors, and after that, there were nobody left on. We have played 1.5. 2-0 Assumption. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
Wisconsin River Orthopedics has been providing comprehensive care to Wood County for over 50 years. We offer urgent care for orthopedic pain and injuries, joint replacement, along with focused sports medicine care from evaluation to rehabilitation. Our facilities offer a spacious rehab center to get you back to doing what you love most, along with the latest technology in our ambulatory surgery center and a comfortable open MRI. Stop living with pain and limited range in your joints. Turn to Wisconsin River Orthopedics and get back to the way life is meant to be.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Maddie Moss to lead things off here for the Royals in the home half of the second inning. Much like what happened on Friday, what will likely be the case here in game number 2, Edgar will be the home team, Assumption the visitor, because they're supposed to play in Edgar tomorrow, but because of the threat of rain and storms, they agreed, and much appreciated on our end that they're just playing 2 games here this afternoon.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, again, Steve, we talk about, we've already lost a couple weeks of weather due to kind of some late snow and the late start and spring break and what have you. So it's just important to make sure you get those conference games in. So good work by the 2 athletic directors to talk to make sure that we take advantage of the weather and the beautiful field. As Madison Moss hits a hard hit line drive to the center fielder, who makes an excellent grab out in center field. That's Taylor Lemmer. She made what was a hard hit ball, could have been challenging play, looked very routine. And again, encouraging signs for Madison Moss as she put a hard hit ball in play. But again, an outstanding grab by Taylor Lemmer. That brings up number 5, the third baseman, the 9 hitter for the Royals, Delaney Hahn.
Very fast. Delaney Hahn has, when she's been able to get the bunts down, it has worked well for Assumption offensively.
Steve, it's one of those deals we heard from Ken Hyman, our friends over at Nasonville Dairy. I would like to see if you can go ahead and recite each of the the cheeses that he has at the end of the commercial. It's still pretty impressive. Appreciate Ken and all of our sponsors. Please make sure you're going ahead and providing them with patronage.
I will give a shout-out to, and I think you've met Katie Lecton before, give a shout-out to Katie. She's been a producer for Zaleski Sports, Amherst Jr. She's been a producer and a play caller since her freshman year in high school. She can recite all those cheeses from Nasonville, so kudos to Katie.
I was just going to say, you have to invest some time to be able to take a look at being able to work that through, especially at the speed that he rattles those off. That's great.
3-1 pop foul back, and it's 3-2.
Hey, Steve, speaking of sponsors, let's talk a little bit about Solaris. So Solaris customers have enjoyed the same low price for 5 years running. No tricks, no gimmicks, no kidding. Packages start at $49.99 a month. Visit Solaris.net today to learn more.
The 3-2. And Hahn pops this one up, foul territory, playable.
That is an outstanding grab by number 15, the third baseman for Edgar, Morgan Strevler. So she has a base hit in this ball game and an excellent grab. Went ahead and found the fence with her hand, was able to go ahead and backhand it just to keep that ball off the fence to retire Hahn for the second out of the inning. Outstanding defense so far in the top of the second, or in the bottom of the second by the Wildcats at both third and center field. Impressive catches. So up comes Anna Schooley, who walked her first time and scored on Vullert's base hit.
They're going to be hit hard and right past the glove of Strevler, and a 2-out base hit there for Anna Schooley.
Anna had a hard hit line drive the first go around, has found the timing of it this time and hits a line shot down the third baseline. So 2 outs, Schooley on first. It would not surprise me, Steve, to see Schooley try to go ahead and take off to get into scoring position for Ari Kavanaugh here in the bottom of the second.
Schooley stands at first with 2 outs. Colano fires home. Off speed, and there goes Schooley. The throw down is not quite in time. Good throw by Colano, but Schooley a little too fast.
That ball was just a touch outside. She went ahead and was able to go ahead and set her feet and throw a nice strike, as now we'll have a conversation. I assume that the conversation is, did Anna go ahead and take off early or not?
Since 2005, Metallico has been one of North America's largest secondary aluminum billet producers, offering hundreds of jobs to the Wisconsin Rapids area. Your next career is just a call or stop away. Learn more about working at Metallico at metallico.com, or stop in to apply at their plant in Wisconsin Rapids. Looking through Facebook today, you were mentioning late starts to spring sports and snow and rain. 6 years ago, we got over 2 feet of snow today, or in this three-day stretch of April. We got Amherst, I think, got 30 inches. We got over 20 inches. It was a lot of snow.
I catch your drift on what you're doing there. They were more impressive. The only banks that were more impressive than that day was Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, our pregame sponsor, or perhaps Key Savings Bank. So, but again, it's amazing in May the difference in weather that you can have. I mean, today is a beautiful sunny day, 70 degrees, hardly any wind. Friday was 50 degrees with chilly and gale force winds. You talked about snow a couple of years ago. It's such a wild ride with Wisconsin weather.
1-1 to Kavanaugh, misses high, 2-1. Tomorrow night into Wednesday, supposed to be a lot of rain and windy, and yeah, it's best time of the year, as they say.
Absolutely. So Schooley on second base, 2 balls, 1 strike. Colano going ahead and working here in the bottom of the second inning. Her team trailing 2-0 and 2 outs here in the inning. Kavanaugh struck out the first go-around. Colano seeing if she can go ahead and work her the second time.
And got the strike back. Count runs full. 3-2 to Ari Kavanaugh with Claire Nelson on deck for the Royals.
Good speed, obviously, on second base, so you figure that anything that finds the grass is going to probably give the Royals a run. We'll see if Colano can get Kavanaugh for the second time in this game.
3-2 popped up and out of play. Count remains full here to Ari Kavanaugh.
Steve, early indications from Colano, and I'll have to take a look. That's one thing I do not know if she's a senior or if she's a sophomore, but for kind of a second pitcher after behind work, she throws a pretty good ball. I mean, the initial indications from what we've seen in an inning and a half here is pretty impressive.
Yep, absolutely. And trying to fill in that spot where I'm assuming she probably didn't imagine being in that spot this year. Maybe the second pitcher of a doubleheader, but there she is. The 3-2 fouled back off the glove of Colano, and it remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, certainly our thoughts and prayers to Michaela Workus for a full recovery. One of the Zaleski Sports favorites. Been in the highlight house multiple times. Just a really nice young lady.
3-2. Kavanaugh lines this one into left center. That one's going to get down. Lemmer cuts it off, but Schooley will score. And Kavanaugh trots into first with an RBI base hit. And an outstanding at-bat by Ari Kavanaugh results in a run for the Royals.
Really a nice piece of hitting by Ari with the 3-2 count. Stayed back, was able to drive that ball in the middle of the field.
Now Claire Nelson, a fly out to center back in the first inning. 3-0 Assumption here in the home half of the second inning.
It appears that Allison Colano, by the way, Steve, is a 2025 grad, so she's a junior. And her freshman, or her sister, the catcher, is a freshman for Edgar. So nice little combination for this year and potentially next year.
Kavanaugh to second. And she's going to slide in there safely on a stolen base.
Top of those Royals lineup has got so much speed with Schooley, Kavanaugh. Claire would tell you she's got cat-like speed and reflexes, but Schooley and Kavanaugh especially quite quick before the power of the lineup comes up.
The 1-0 here to Nelson. Inside corner is good for a strike, and it evens it up at a ball and strike. Royals not in action again until Friday when they host Rib Lake, and then another very tough Saturday outing when they head to Laconia to take on Laconia and Pacelli. The 1-1 to Claire is swung on and missed, and it's 1-2.
One thing that Coach Nelson and Coach Schill strongly believe in is that if you want to be the best, you got to play and beat the best. And their non-conference schedule is filled with state contenders up and down the lineup.
The 1-2. This is outside. Kavanaugh tries to take third. She's going to be out as Kavanaugh tried the headfirst slide, and she'll be caught stealing at third to end the second inning. A run on 2 hits. Nobody left. We've played 2 complete. 3-0 Assumption. We'll be back after this on Zaleski Sports.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
Welcome. How may we help you?
New windows, new garage, new car, swimming pool, tuition. We're not talking scholarship here. And a vacation.
Our affordable home equity line of credit may be just what you need.
Medical expenses, braces for our youngest. How about the dog? Roof. How about the roof? And did I mention how long I wanted that vacation to be?
Your money, your life. How may we help you?
All right, now we're good.
Well, welcome back to Robinson Park as we start the top of the third inning on a beautiful sunny day with the Royals leading 3-0 over the Edgar Wildcats. At the plate is our pitcher, Allison Colano. She ended last inning at the plate, but there was a runner that was thrown out that ended the inning, so she gets a fresh count to start it back over as we are battling here in the third.
Grounded right back to Vollert. Steps, throws, and retires Colano for the first out.
Steve, Made a Custom Apparel in Stevens Point provides quality decorative apparel from your hometown schools and summer teams to corporate and team outings, along with promotional items and sporting goods. Visit Made a Custom Apparel for all of your needs.
1 up and 1 down for Elizabeth Wooler, the left fielder for Edgar. Top of the order due up next, and Taylor Lemmer. That's fouled off the mitt of Nelson. So a couple of changes for So we'll get into what just happened in Eau Claire here in a minute. That was going to be fouled back again. So Bob Bredovich is in Eau Claire right now, calling our Columbus Catholic and Regis game. Columbus Catholic and Regis game, and he said out of the blue, literally blue skies, just happened to start raining in Eau Claire, and so they had to move positions at Mount. They're not at Carson Park tonight. They're at Mount Simon Park, near Carson Park, but just had to move before they could go live.
Worked again, I'm not really quite sure why this is interesting to the folks at home, but since I started, I'll finish it anyway. Worked a regional final. Eau Claire Luther actually will play at that park pretty frequently, and we worked a sectional semifinal over there a couple years ago. Anyway, as I said before, that was randomly exciting and important to me. So, unfortunately, Elizabeth Waller went ahead and struck out for the second out of the inning, and Macy Vullert has cruised through the lineup the first go-around with the Wildcats putting the ball in play, but some solid defense. So we're back to the top of the lineup. Coming up again, number 1, Taylor Lemmer.
Lemmer looks at a ball high.
Taylor struck out looking the first go-around after working the count full against Macy. So we'll see what the Wildcats are able to do on the second go-around through the lineup.
Yeah, that's just one of many changes that we will have. Again, head over to ZaleskiSports.com. A lot of time changes for tomorrow. We'll have all of those as Vollard underhands it to Moss to end the third inning. 3 up, 3 down. We've played 2.5. 3-0 Assumption. Back after this quick break. Zaleski Sports.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale. We have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Chili Implement, located just west of Marshfield in Chili, is your Kubota dealer in central Wisconsin. Big or small, Chili Implement has all the best equipment waiting for you. From farm tractors to lawn care, plus work and have fun in a Kubota side-by-side. Choose Chili Implement for your parts and service too. Chili Implement, open Monday through Saturday to serve you and 24/7 online at chiliimplement.com.
All right, Claire Nelson to lead things off. She was at the plate, much like Edgar had a runner thrown out in the second inning. Nelson at the plates with as Kavanaugh was thrown out at third. She fouls that one off the end of the bat to start 0-1.
Claire Nelson flew to center field her first time at bat. One of the interesting things with Claire is if you just take a look at it, she's way up front in the box, way near the front of it, trying to go ahead and get the timing of Kalana. Kalana's doing a nice job of keeping her off balance so far. Excellent throw, by the way, by the freshman, her sister, I believe that's Alyssa Colano, to go ahead and get the speedy Macy, the speedy Ari Kavanaugh at third to end the second inning. So bottom of the third, Royals up 3-0, 1 ball, 1 strike. Claire Nelson Claire Nelson batting. Elson Colano pitching, and we appreciate everybody at home going ahead and joining us for Wildcats and Royals baseball here on a beautiful day. One of the things you can hear hopefully in the background is you love about high school softball is there's always good energy, good chance. As Claire takes a ball 3-1. Steve, Wisconsin River Orthopedics encourages you to stop living with the pain. Come see them, and let's get you back to living your life to the fullest. For joint pain, rehabilitation, urgent care, and more, come to Wisconsin River Orthopedics in Wisconsin Rapids.
Best in the biz over there. Drive past there every time coming here to Robbie. So
one of those deals, Dr. Todd and his counterparts have taken very good care of a lot of our athletes and a lot of the community here in Wisconsin Rapids, very fortunate to have them, not only as a friend of the program, but as healthcare providers. As Nelson hits the ball to shortstop, beautiful play by the shortstop, Isabella Kaiser, who went ahead and did a great job of staying down and made a strike across the strike throw across the diamond to go ahead and get clear at first base, bringing up the number 4 hitter, Macy Vollert, who had an RBI single in the first inning to get the Royals on the board.
That was another pop up there and another base hit for Vollert, and she's going to turn. Tough play. Nobody's covering second base, and she's going to be in with another double, a hustle double that time for Macy.
Really a nice read by Coach Schill. We'll give him a shout-out on that. He noticed that the second baseman had drifted out a little bit further, and when the ball was bobbled, he sent Macy, who had never broke stride, to put a runner in scoring position now with one out, bringing up Lydia Schmitz, who had a double. At least it was down the right field line. I don't know if it was a double or single, but it was another RBI hit in the first inning for the lone senior at Assumption, Lydia Schmidt.
Yeah, sorry for the earthquake moving there. Just couldn't see just couldn't see second base.
It was a single, by the way, down the right field line in that first inning, but it was an RBI single.
I had to shake the camera a little bit to be able to see second base. So my apologies.
I don't remember if it was this week or last week when Saturday Night Live had the skit about the earthquake was on Weekend Update, the New York earthquake, the 4.8 magnitude, but similar to that at home.
Popped up and caught by Colano, and there's 2 away.
Colano did a really nice job of working Lydia inside that time, got in on her hands, and became a sure fielder. So 2 outs now here in the bottom of the third. Royals have a runner on second base. Up comes Jess Norton, who also had a single to center field in her first at bat.
First offering is going to be fouled straight back. Speaking of Weekend Update, and I know how much you and the family and everybody in the sports world appreciates Caitlin Clark. Phenomenal job.
We are 31 minutes away from her becoming the first pick in this year's WNBA draft, and she was fantastic. You know, Steve, the way she handles everything with a sense of humility and grace is pretty outstanding. I thought that her skit was pretty great.
The 1-1's going to be fouled into the mitt, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And they call it the Caitlin Clark effect, and it's going to be in full effect once the WNBA season starts up. And we'll mention that here. I think the Indiana Fever, is that who it is? They had 1 nationally televised game last year. I think they play 40. I think they have a 40-game schedule in the WNBA. Right now, they have 35. So
it was not announced that Caitlin was going to be on Saturday Night Live, but I read today that it's the most streamed clip of Saturday Night Live in the last 25 years. I mean, it's amazing on how, like, when I woke up on Sunday morning.
2-2 to Norton puts it into the grass, and they will send Vollert. Jess Norton, nicely done. And it's 4-0 Assumption.
Jess with her second base hit of the ball game. Really a nice shot up the middle of the field to go ahead and score Macy Vollert. Going ahead and extending the lead for the Royals to 4-0 in this ball game. Just a little bit inside on Stofflet. So Norton 2 for 2 with a big RBI single. Bottom of the third inning, 4-0 Royals over Wildcats in game 1 of our doubleheader here today, Steve.
Yeah, it's
Anyway, finishing that thought on Caitlin just for a second. So when Jordan and I got up, it was about 5 o'clock in the morning. I had about 15 messages. Did you see the Caitlin Clark thing on Saturday Night Live? I'm old, so I was sleeping by that time, but was very funny to watch online.
2 balls and a strike to Stofflet. Yeah, and this is the way to do it. I was listening again to the Dan Patrick Show after they came back from vacation this morning, and they were mentioning that it was a WNBA doing it right. Monday night, no other sports going on except baseball when you have to play 500 games, but Yeah, very well done by the WNBA this year.
Well, and I thought kind of an interesting piece. It's sandwiched between when you're talking about the NBA, because the play-in games, which I'd like to talk to you about next inning, start later this week, and then of course the playoffs. So just a good time to be a basketball fan, as that's been able to be out there.
Get on second, Jess.
Ball four. So. The throw down, but Norton was able to advance on the walk. To your point, she rounded second, to which point you're not allowed to do. So
you can do it, but they'd be able to tag you. So.
To quote Dodgeball, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it works out for her. So runners on first and second, 2 away. Madison Moss up at the plate for the Royals.
Madison had a nice cut back in the second inning. Lined out to center field. Taylor Lemmer for Edgar. 0-1 to Moss. 4-0 Assumption. The 0-1. Misses high for a ball. Evens it up at a ball and a strike.
Steve, when we finish up, we're going to hear from our friends at Next Step Prosthetics. We'll let Madison go ahead and swing.
The 1-1 here. And that's going to be hit into right field. And they're going to send Jess Norton the throw to second. The slide, she's going to be safe. Moss is going to take second.
On a really nice piece of hitting, put that ball between first and second to go ahead and allow Norton to score from second to extend the lead to 5-0. And we'll have a conference on the mound to discuss where we're at with runners on first, with second and third. So anyway, Steve, what I was saying is following this ball game, we're going to hear from our friends at Next Step Prosthetics, as they're our post-game sponsor. Next Step providing prosthetic and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today.
Get you some scores here from around the network in just some moments. Marshfield and Wausau West softball. Marshfield up 5-3. In the 7th, Pacelli-Adams Friendship. Pacelli up 6-0 on Adams. Regis and Columbus Catholic. Columbus up 2-0 on Regis. And soccer from Marshfield has not yet started. That won't be until 6:30. And then, again, check out ZaleskiSports.com. A lot of games for tomorrow, not just on Zaleski Sports, but around the area, have changed start times. So if your favorite team is playing tomorrow, make sure you check out the conference websites or the school websites for scheduled time changes. And we will be – I have a game over at the Quadplex. Rapids and Merrill baseball, originally starting at 5, moved to 4:30. So as Hahn swings and misses at that one, 2-1.
So hard at this time of the year with the spring sports, Steve, to go ahead and move them up. It's not like – basketball where, those games are scheduled to start at 7 and you can move them to 6. Anytime you have to move it up, you're talking about having to leave school early, as Hahn is hit by a pitch, and now the bases are full, and up comes shortstop, leadoff hitter, Anna Schooley, with an opportunity to extend this lead to an interesting spot if she can go ahead and find some green grass. Figure that you've got Moss at second, Stofflet at first, Stofflet at third, Hahn at first. We'll be curious to see on how many of those runs could score on potentially a double.
A walk and a single for Anna Schooley today, the 8th hitter of the inning for Assumption. Ari Kavanaugh waiting on deck if needed. 3 freshmen on the base paths for Assumption. The 1-0. Going to be rocketed to left, just out in front, and it's going to drift foul just a tad bit early. And it's 1-1.
That's the second time in this game that Anna's been just a hair early, but got a good portion of the bat on the ball.
A ball and a strike here.
You can hear Claire Nelson in the background encouraging her teammate to continue to get after it.
Always a good cheerleader is Claire Nelson. 1-1. Now it's going to be rocketed to left. Backing up. It is going to be gone. A grand slam for Anna Schooley.
you could tell when Anna went ahead and extended her arms that she was able to go ahead and put the barrel of the bat on that particular ball and extend this lead as she gets the patented celebration. Anyway, 9-0 Royals over Wildcats here in the bottom of the third. Again, no room to put her, so you had to go ahead and challenge her. And Anna, who has great power, we saw her speed early in the ball game, Steve. Now we see her power. Really a dangerous weapon at the plate in the field for this Royal squad, which now brings up the number 2 hitter, Ari Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh today a strikeout and an RBI single. First offering to Ari is good for a strike. 9th hitter of the inning for Assumption. And again, I haven't covered all their games, but first home run of the year for Assumption hitting. Didn't have one against Vestipol. Look out back here. Not against, I assume they didn't hit any against Mosinee. So first home run at the plate for Assumption on offense, and it's a big one. It's a grand slam with 2 outs. The 0-2. High and away, 1-2. The 9th hitter of the inning. Again, a lot of damage here with 2 outs. Lydia Smits popped it up to Colano. That was the second out, and then it was a single walk, single hit by pitch, and then grand slam. And it's 2-2 now to Kavanaugh.
Kalana doing a much better job as this game progresses of going ahead and working when she gets ahead and that 0-2 count. Early we saw she would get up 0-2 or 1 ball, 2 strikes and would give something to hit. Now she's doing a better job of seeing if the Royals will chase. Unfortunately for her, the Royals have been pretty disciplined at the plate.
2-2 popped up. Shallow center and no miscommunication there by the Wildcats. And it's a 2-out base hit for Ari Kavanaugh.
Taylor Lemmer was playing deep. Emery Borkart was on the grass, and just not, to your point, just a little bit of miscommunication. That ball was kind of hit right in the middle of them and fell harmlessly, but it would have been a long run for Lemmer and a tough play for Borkart. It's in a tough spot, but Royals extend the third inning now with Kavanaugh on first base. We'll see if Coach Nelson puts her in motion, which she does.
Nice throw again off the noggin of Kavanaugh, right into the ear hole of on the shoulder maybe of Kavanaugh, and she steals second base.
Coach Schill and Coach Nelson out to go ahead and check on Ari. If needed, our friends over at Wisconsin River Orthopedics are on standby in case it's needed. But Ari goes ahead and says that she's fine. So now runner on second base for the hot-hitting Claire Nelson. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the third inning. 9-0 Royals lead the Wildcats here at Robinson Park, game 1 of the doubleheader.
Nelson flies this one to left, backing up on it in front of the fence. And makes the catch out there is Elizabeth Wooler for Edgar. Assumption scores 5 times. And they leave 1. We've played 3 complete. 9-0 Assumption. We'll be back after this on Zaleski Sports.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Couldn't possibly go through all this stuff by yourself, especially since Dad isn't as young and mobile as he used to be. You know, I'd love to help if I had more time between work, kids, and their activities. Have you considered getting any help?
I'd love to, but I don't know who to call.
Kushel & Kushel, removal and recycling services for seniors, handicaps, and those who need help. We do the dirty work so you don't have to. From painting, landscaping, moving, chores, and more. Please give David a call at 715-323-5762.
Macy Vollert back out there. Her fourth inning of work. Halverson, Strevler, and Yonker for the Cats.
Leading off for Edgar, number 5, right fielder Brandy Halverson.
Halverson, strikeout victim back in the first. Nothing in 1 to Halverson. The right fielder for the Wildcats. Popped up, shallow left, and into the grass goes Schooley to make the catch for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down here for Edgar offensively, and now Morgan Strevler, the third baseman. She singled back in the first. Nobody on, 1 away here in the visitor half of the fourth inning.
She had a dandy of a catch earlier in the ball game, Steve, on a ball that she found the fence on and was able to go ahead and grab to retire a big out. I believe that was in the second inning, but it was a beautiful catch, followed by right after Lemmer had a nice catch out in center field as well.
First offering from Vollert. Misses outside for a ball, and it's 1-0. Followed by Macy Yonker, who waits on deck. Nobody on, 1 away, top of the fourth. That one bounces in there, gets past Nelson, 2-0. So, again, games tomorrow that got moved. We have my game, Wisconsin Rapids and Merrill. Original start 5, got moved to 4:30. Stratford and Marathon baseball, originally scheduled for probably like 4:45, got moved to 3:30. So it's trying to get all the games in before the wind is too bad and the rain is too strong. So
DC Everest is coming to Wisconsin Rapids tomorrow on the network at 4:30. Steve, that should be a really nice early season contest.
Big softball game for sure.
As Yonker hits a fly ball that's handled by the sure-handed senior Lydia Schmidt out in center field for the second out of the inning. Again, keeping Morgan Strevler at first base. She's been up twice, on base twice, had a heck of a grab. She's played a nice ball game so far for the Wildcats, but unfortunately for her and her team trail in the top of the fourth inning, 9-0 to the Royals.
Emery Borkard now at the plate. Foul straight back, wearing that all but famous number 3 Borkart jersey.
Famous, infamous, whatever.
Yeah.
It's it's one of those deals where, as I've often said when I sign the referee book, that way in case a member famous or infamous, you can sell it on eBay either way. So,
runner at first and 2 outs. Inside 1-1.
One of the things that Macy, in addition to the accuracy, Steve, she's doing a much better job this year of going ahead and changing speeds. We've seen that change up from her several times. A couple times, for a strike. Sometimes it bounces, but really does a nice job of mixing speeds.
That one misses high and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Just looking at the rest of the network, I see Eau Claire Memorial is in action against River Falls tomorrow at 4:30. In baseball, that should be a nice contest.
2 balls and a strike. Very, very, very fortunate to have a guy like Bob Bradovich do our games in Eau Claire.
And maybe in the non-conference game of the night, if they can get it in, Mosinee will travel to Pacelli for a matchup of 2 highly ranked, I believe, undefeated softball teams in the area.
Misses inside. Count runs full now. Yeah, they played late in the year last year, and Mosinee got, I think that was Pacelli's only loss last year.
On the network, you're going to have Stratford at Marathon Baseball. That is potentially a early season conference.
And a high strike 3 to Borkard. We'll go through the rest of our schedule in just a little bit. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left via the walk. Played 3.5. 9-0 Assumption. Back after this quick break. Zaleski Sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Bottom of the fourth inning we go. It'll be Vollard, Smits, and Norton for Assumption as we hear from one of our sponsors.
Steve, Sparhawk Trucking has become one of the area's leading trucking companies, reliably hauling for more than 44 years. Come work for the best and learn more at sparhawktrucking.com. SPARHAWK trucking.com.
First offering here to Vollard to his foul straight back. Macy 2 for 2 today with a couple of doubles.
Macy in line after a couple really solid outings for her first win of the season. Really kind of got the game or the scoring started in that top of the first with an important RBI single, and has been just a dominating force on the mound today. She's thrown an excellent ball game, keeping the Wildcats not only off timing with her delivery, but keeping the ball in play in addition to some timely strikeouts.
The 1-1's going to be lined down the left field line, third baseline. There's going to be a base hit. They're going to send Vollard again, and she is 3 for 3 with 3 doubles.
That seems like a good day at the plate. Again, this Royal lineup doing a nice job of going ahead and getting that timing down, especially throughout the top of the order. That's one of the things we talked the other night against Auburndale, is at the top of the order for Assumption has been so important for them, but they're starting to be able to go ahead and put the ball in play all the way through the lineup, as Moss has got a nice hit tonight. Norton has got a couple nice hits, and we'll see if Macy can go ahead and be moved in as we get to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the lineup here, as up comes senior Lydia Schmitz.
Yeah, base hits in the first, popped it back to Colano back into the third inning. Runner at second and nobody out. Inside corner to Smits is good for a strike, evens it up at a ball and a strike.
So Lydia did a nice job of taking the ball down the right field line for a single in the first inning, and then Colano did a really nice job of attacking her hands, which is where she's coming again on the inside to retire her in the second at-bat.
High and tight. Misses for a ball. 2-1 to Lydia.
Beautiful sunny day, Steve. It's hard to believe tomorrow's going to be rainy and gusty, because it is picture perfect out here for a May Day today.
The 2-1. High on Smits again, 3-1.
And I guess it's only still April, isn't it? So it's not even a May Day, but it feels like a May Day at this point.
Yeah, tax day today. Yeah.
Don't remind me. It's always a sad day. That's always a sad day.
The 3-1 to Lydia Smits, and draws a 5-pitch walk. And now Jess Norton, who's got a couple of base hits today, stands at the plate with nobody out.
Can we say the hot-hitting Jess Norton?
Yeah.
Jess Norton, is that how that works?
Yeah, 2 for 2 today for Jess. Had a double against Auburndale in Game 2. Yeah, nice couple of games here for Jess. And that was going to be hit over to third. In play, bobbled, and it's dropped at third.
Macy Vollard doing a nice job of hustling through on that. Again, it's her slide and aggressiveness that goes ahead and makes that a tougher play than what you run into. So now bases are full for the Royals, already with the lead, 9-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Bases loaded here for the Royals. Lexi Stofflet pops it up. Infield fly will be called, and there's one away. One out here for Madison Moss.
So one down now here for the Royals. Moss singled to center field the last, actually doubled to center field the last trip up. We'll see if she can continue her hot hitting as well.
That was going to be hit right back to home for one, and it gets past. Vollard will score. Smits trying to come in to score, and she's going to be out at home. So a run will score On the errant throw, Moss will reach on a fielder's choice. Fowler will score on the error. And Smits comes around and gets tagged out on the 2-1 putout, and there's 2 outs.
Norton finds herself at third. Moss finds herself at first. Royals find themselves with a 10-run lead here in the bottom of the 4th. So aggressive base running by Coach Nelson as Hahn gets hit for the 2nd time in a row. I believe that's Hahn's 3rd time getting hit for the year. She's got to stop saying negative things about the opposing team pitcher, apparently. So as she goes ahead and reaches base. And once again, up comes Anna Schooley with the bases loaded. The last time she hit a ball that nearly bounced off the house across the way. But Anna Schooley coming back up with a single and a grand slam on the day. I believe she also walked in the 1st inning, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. First one to Schooley is high and tight for a strike. Yep, walked and scored in the 1st, singled and scored in the 2nd, and grand salamied it in the 3rd inning.
I don't think I've ever been part of a game where I've seen back-to-back grand salamis. That would be kind of a unique.
That's going to be hit over to 3rd. That won't happen this one. And the Royals score 1 more, and they leave 2 on. We have played 4 complete. It is 10-0 Assumption. To the 5th inning we go. We'll be back after this on Zaleski Sports.
Why work for Staub Construction?
Everybody around you is just family.
Everybody seems to bond together and get along good, and
they, I believe, truly care about their employees.
Staub has a great benefits package.
Staub is an employee-owned company that puts a large emphasis on work-life balance.
And everybody wants to see everybody succeed. It's a good place to work.
Join the team at Staub Construction. Apply now at staubco.com.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call to your first sip to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Top of the 5th inning we go here in, goodness, that was really close to my mouth. Top of the 5th inning we go. It'll be Colano Kaiser and Colano for the Wildcats against Macy Vollert.
Steve, let's hear from Econ Electric. Whether you need residential, commercial, or an industrial electrician, you can rely on Econ Electric, where the job is done safe, done right, on time, every time. That's Econ Electric.
Grounded over to Schooley at short. And rockets it over to Moss for the first out. 1 up and 1 down here in the 5th.
Now batting number 2, shortstop, Bella Kaiser.
Mutual of Wausau Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualofwausau.com to find an agent near you. How about that one? That's a memory one right there.
That's pretty impressive, Steve.
You say it as many times as we have. It's
now again, I told you I was challenged you for the could you name all the different type of cheeses? But I'm equally impressed by that off memory script read. That was excellent.
The 1-0 here. This is high for a ball to Isabel Kaiser. 2-0 to the shortstop. That's a nice short one. That's an easy one to memorize after all the games that we appreciate Mutual of Wausau being a part of, and all of our sponsors for sure. And it's 3-0 now to Kaiser.
Vollert falls behind 3 balls, no strikes. I believe she has just 1 walk on the game.
Couple of them, I think.
Couple walks.
Yep. And inside corner, good for a strike. Walked Borkhart to start the 2nd, and then walked Strevler back in the 4th there.
Gotcha.
3-1 here.
Steve keeping me on my toes. I appreciate that. Well done, Steve.
Right down the middle at the knees. Right down the middle from what we saw. It may have been on the outside corner, but we're just going to guess. It was a strike anyway.
Back to what she said. That's what Angel Hernandez does each time anyway. So if you were with us earlier.
3-2, fouled at the plate. Remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Colano awaits on deck, the pitcher.
Nice job by Kaiser to go ahead and get a piece to extend the count, fight off what was a tough well-placed pitch by Vollert.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Going to be lined and knuckled over to Schooley. It looked like it was going to drop and stayed up on that line for the out.
Anna Schooley has done a little bit of everything in this game. Stole a base, had a grand slam, and has had several very impressive plays over at shortstop, including that particular one. Really a hard hit ball by Kaiser. Baseball is a weird sport, or softball is a weird sport sometimes, Steve, where the hardest hit balls aren't always necessarily hits.
Yeah.
We talked about the one earlier that kind of fell between second and right field. That's going to look like a line drive in the book. And that particular one, she tattooed a ball that Anna was able to go ahead and secure in front. But the Wildcats down to their last out as they trail 10-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Macy Vellert looking for her first win on the season.
And slips out of the hand and even set up at a ball and a strike.
I've often thought of the Little Giants at this point. You know what that pitch was called? Intimidation. Just a bit high for Vollert. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Royals lead Wildcats 10-0.
The 1-1, low and away. Definitely a movie you got to go back and watch. That's a great movie.
I'll tell you what, it's one of those deals that's a timeless classic. A timeless classic. Anytime that one's on, I typically tend to watch that one, and for whatever reason, Shawshank is another one that I tend to stop at.
Look out over there! Ooh, right off the top of the screen, and it evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Steve, Quality Plus Printing in Wisconsin Rapids can help your business with all of your printing service needs. Banners, labels, postcards, programs, and so much more with quality custom work, quick turnaround times, and great customer service. Visit qpprinting.com. Quality Plus Printing. Get your words out.
Count runs full again, and that has been kind of the theme of this game for Macy Vollert. Full counts for Macy. Yeah, big shout out to, and she draws the walk there. Big shout out to Phil Hartley, the owner of Quality Plus Printing, and all of his support and his family and business's support of Wisconsin Rapids area sports and athletics. Appreciate Phil over at Quality Plus Printing and all of our fine sponsors. We like to say it as much as we can, and without Bill Held, our salesman, John Albrecht, Jason Zaleski, going out and getting people to help us out, couldn't sit up here and bring you free sports all year long.
Well, along that same general line with all of the viewers at home that tune in to put up with Steve and I and enjoy the broadcast, we could not do that as well. So greatly appreciate everybody at home that goes ahead and watches us. Greatly appreciate all of our sponsors. And again, we would appreciate if you go out and visit and patronize those sponsors. It's one of the reasons that Zaleski Sports is able to go ahead and exist and bring you with what we do.
Now it's going to be lifted to Smits in center, and that'll do it here in game number 1. Macy Vollert picks up her first win of the year. Royals get a run rule victory here in game 1, 10-0. I would assume it's 6 o'clock right now, maybe 6:30 first pitch, or 6:20. I don't know. They gave them 20 minutes on Friday. Between 6:30 and between 6:20 and 6:30 will be first pitch of game number 2. We'll have that for you right here on Zaleski Sports. Back in about 20 minutes for game number 2. Assumption, Edgar on Zaleski Sports. All right, welcome back to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids. Game 2 just about to get underway. Morgan Strevler in the circle for Edgar. And a schoolie at the plate here in Game 2. First offering is going to be bounced over to second. One pitch, one out. Borkhardt makes the play. As just like that, there's one away here in the visitor half
That batter was Anna
of
now batting number 24, pitcher Ari Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh looks at a strike. Morgan Strevler, pitcher here in Game 2 as we are underway here in Wisconsin Rapids. Schoolie, Kavanaugh, same usual starting or batting order, and Kavanaugh drives this one to deep right field, right over the glove of the right fielder. Kavanaugh trots into second. They'll try third. The throw from Borkhardt is off the mark, and a one-out triple for Ari Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh doing a really nice job, Steve, of keeping her hands inside, or hands in on an inside pitch and driving it over the right fielder's head with her speed. When that ball gets over her head, she was thinking triple all the way. And the Royals now have a runner at third with Claire Nelson coming up, once again doing the catching duties for Assumption in the top half of the first inning. Again, this is Edgar being the home team with the second game of the doubleheader. This is Edgar's conference game, which is moved up a day because of the impending weather.
Riley Miller, the right fielder here in Game 2, almost got a glove on that one as Nelson's quickly behind 0-2 with Macy Vollert waiting on deck for Assumption. Runner at third and one out here. I was just about to start. Just missed outside. I was just about to start, send all the graphics over, and then I had the names wrong. I had Assumption on the bottom, Edgar on top. Oh, luckily enough, it's just a color change and a name change, so nothing too bad. And that was going to be grounded over to first. They'll get the out at first. Kavanaugh will score, and a productive out there for Claire Nelson on the 3 unassisted. And Assumption leads 1-0.
So a triple by Kavanaugh, a ball put in play by Nelson after getting 2 strikes on her, and the Royals go ahead and get a lead here in the top of the first inning.
Macy Vollert, Paul doing double duty tonight, running concession stands, and as Vollert lines out to second base.
Now batting number 8, center fielder Lydia Smith.
And 3 away here in the first inning. 1 run on 1 hit, nobody left. We have played half an inning. Assumption 1, Edgar coming up.
Buy 3 Goodyear tires and 1 is free has been extended at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Plus, get up to $200 back on 4 installed Goodyear tires when you use the Goodyear credit card. Buy 3 and 1 is free in March at Sherrill Tire and Auto. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Hey everybody, Nat over at Wheeler Chevrolet GMC, and I am standing in our all-new Express Lane. Open now, no appointment necessary. Stop on in and get things like oil changes, filters, quick lubes, no appointment necessary. See you soon.
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. Or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at maidacustom.com.
Bottom of the first inning we go here in Wisconsin Rapids. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Right before we went to the break, mentioned Paul double duty here tonight, running or helping the concession stand and sprinting up here and helping us out here in Game 1 and 2 from Robinson Park. Here in Wisconsin Rapids, Ari Kavanaugh, the pitcher here in Game 2. First offering to Taylor Lemmer, misses for a ball.
Steve, really a great crowd here tonight at Robinson Park. Both the communities of Edgar and the Royals of Assumption supporting their teams and supporting the concession stand tonight. So really appreciate all of our Edgar and Royal sports fans. Speaking of picking up things, at Fleet Farm, you can pick up all of your pet's favorite foods from Fleet Farm. As we'll watch Kavanaugh pitch here.
The 1-1 misses just a bit outside.
In fact, at Fleet Farm, you can find everything from food and treats to toys, health products, all under one roof. All the brands you trust. Dogs, cats, they've got you covered. Shop your pets' everyday essentials at Fleet Farm, the man's mall.
Kavanaugh just misses a tad high. 3-1 now to Taylor Lemmer.
Steve, I've told you before, I'll tell you again, if they don't have it at Fleet Farm, you don't need it. So it's one of my favorite places I registered for the wedding with.
Hey, so did I, actually.
Yeah, it was outstanding.
3-1 is swung on a miss. Count runs full at 3-2. Yeah, just go around there and just start scanning stuff. And
I still have a queso maker in the box that I have not used. That seemed like a really good idea at the time. So, but again, Fleet Farm, great store. We really appreciate them.
Kavanaugh comes all the way back and gets the strikeout, one away here in the first. I'll tell you what, one of the nice things about registering at Fleet Farm is that after the wedding, if people don't get you the stuff that you want, they keep your list for you, and then you use the money that you get from your wedding to go on Fleet Farm and buy the stuff that people didn't get for you.
Plus you can always go ahead and buy their cashews and nuts for a little treat. It's around Christmas time you get the little I call it angel food. It's a little chocolate covered I don't know.
Pretzels?
Foam. Yeah, pretzels, foam, and what have you. I just love Fleet Farm. So many great treats.
The white chocolate pretzels are unbeatable. Oh, my goodness.
You don't get a figure like mine, which I don't have a dad bod. I have a father figure. But lots of white-covered pretzels have been consumed by this guy. So
a ball and a strike. You're watching online, watching on YouTube, have an opportunity to message us in the chat. Let us know what your favorite Fleet Farm candy or snack is. Besides the pretzels and other snacks that they have, their candy selection top-notch as well.
I love their bags of pistachios as well. Just outstanding stuff. Steve, Culligan Water. Get Culligan Water for only $9.95 a month for the first 3 months. Visit Sterling Culligan Water at CulliganH2O.com.
3-1 as Kavanaugh misses.
And again,
Kaiser will walk.
And again, I'm old enough that it just resonates in my head. Hey, Culligan, man. That and I'm always, after listening to his Leslie broadcast, I'm always at home snapping, you gotta love home furniture.
I thought we had some dancing over there. He wasn't dancing.
I was just to say it. They pay me not to dance, in fact, actually. So
Morgan Strevler at the plate with the runner at first and one out here in the home half of the first inning. And the first offering is missed for a ball, 1-0 to Morgan Strevler. Macy Yonker and then Emery Borkart.
Breaking news reported from our good friend Josh Pultz via Adam Wojciechowski that USA Basketball is finding its 2024 Paris Olympic roster committed to play.
There's a strike.
Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Devin Booker, Tyrese Haliburton, Anthony Edwards, True Holiday. That sounds like a winner.
Well, they said after they got embarrassed a couple of summers ago that they were going to get the guys they needed. The 1-1 is going to be fouled at the plate. 1-2 now to Strevler.
I'm not sure that you can compare that to the '92 Dream Team, but that's a pretty good roster in today's day and age of ball. And I would like to also report that the Indiana Fever are officially on the clock. Do you have breaking news? Are they going to select somebody other than the world-famous Caitlin Clark?
Can't imagine it's going to take them more than 5 seconds to to get the throw down to second is going to be into center field. And a stolen base for Kaiser for Edgar.
Kaiser with really good speed, going ahead and forcing a throw by Nelson. Interesting. I thought the throw actually looked okay, Steve. It just Anna was a little bit late getting there. Macy was a little bit getting there, and it kind of sailed through the two of them. But our sure-handed center fielder Lydia Schmidt backing up that play, ensuring that the runner stayed at second.
2-2 to Strevler, just misses outside. Counter runs full now to Morgan. Macy Yonker waiting on deck for the Cats.
Morgan had an excellent first ball game with was on base a couple times. Had a very, very nice catch at third base. Really played an impressive game for Edgar.
3-2 fouled near the Assumption dugout area. Count remains 3-2 strikes.
Thank you to everybody joining us today on the broadcast. Again, just in case you're tuning in, bottom of the first inning here, game 2 of the doubleheader. Royals won the first one. Royals got a run here in the first to lead 1-0. Edgar in the home half of the inning with a runner on second base.
3-2 going to be bounced. Backhanded by Schooley. Doesn't try and make the throw. And Strevler will reach on an infield base hit. So now 2 on and 1 out.
Steve, that's impressive range by Anna Schooley to be able to go ahead and backhand that ball. It would have been interesting to see if that would have gotten to the green, to see if Edgar would have gone ahead and been aggressive on the base paths as the lights start to come on here in game 2 of the doubleheader. But now up comes number 4, the number 4 hitter, Macy Yonker, with runners on first and second, 1 out, bottom of the first inning here at Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids on a beautiful night for softball.
Edgar with 2 runners on, which I don't think they had once in the first game. More than one, maybe they did. More than one runner on base at a time. Maybe in the second inning they may have. It doesn't matter. Game's over with.
You've got a much better memory than I do, Steve. So
2 on and 1 out here for Yonker. Kavanaugh wheels and deals. Swung on and missed.
Really an impressive crowd. And I know I may mention that just before, but really an impressive crowd out here tonight. A lot of familiar faces in the crowd, including our good friend Brian Roosh from Whitetail Properties. Whitetail Properties out in the crowd. So appreciate everybody coming out to support the Wildcats and the Royals.
Scores to bunt, offers at it and misses, fouls it back actually, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Macy Yonker. Wildcats trying to get something going here in the bottom of the first inning, trailing 1-0. Merriwood South softball for you. Other Merriwood games going on this week. Auburndale and Newman, you said? And then Marathon Stratford. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout there for Kavanaugh, and there's 2 away.
Steve, as the weather warms up, look to Rapids Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling in Wisconsin Rapids, as they have more than 100 years of making your home and business comfortable. Call Rapids Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling today. We had talked about it today. It was, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, where on Monday you needed to call them for your air conditioning unit, and on Wednesday you needed to call them in case you needed a furnace repair. It was the crazy Wisconsin weather.
It could be chopped over to Schooley at short to third, and they're going to get her at third base. Nice play by Schooley. Good job by Delaney Hahn. We'll talk about the difference from what Delaney just did in that play to what she had done on Friday. We'll come back and explain a little bit more of that when we come back here. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Hi, I'm Shad from Next Step Prosthetics. 5 years ago, we opened our practice to provide life-changing prosthetics that are both comfortable and functional.
I would definitely recommend Shai.
Shai is very compassionate, caring.
We've grown to serve patients throughout Wisconsin. We want to thank them, their families, and providers who have trusted us on their journey.
Go to Next Step, because it's going to change your life.
Why wait another day? Call to set up a free, no-obligation evaluation. Let us take the next step together towards a better life.
Lydia Smits lead things off here in the visitor half of the second inning. Going to be hit right to second and under the glove of Borkart, and a leadoff base hit for Lydia Smits here in the second inning.
So just like her first at bat in Game 1, Lydia drives the ball to the opposite field to get the Royals started, bringing up Jess Norton. Jess had a really nice first game with a couple big hits, scored a run. Again, freshman contributing tonight for the Royals in Game 1. We'll see if Jess can keep swinging that hot stick.
That was going to be foul at the plate. Tad bit late on that one from Jess Norton.
Steve, let's hear from Carrie Van Aert. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a free quote from Carrie Van Aert at State Farm Auto, homeowners, life insurance, renters, and more. For both Wisconsin Rapids and Marshfield, find Carrie Van Aert State Farm on Facebook and get started today. Again, timing of that is pretty outstanding as the Indiana Fever are on the clock to pick yet another State Farm pretty famous endorser as Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are on the clock. What do you think the trade package would have to be for them to trade Caitlin Clark?
Every pick from now until the end of history, probably.
Do you think the network televisions that have her on TV 36 times would freak out? Because I think they probably would.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of contracts that are going to be be looked over, and that's going to be a base hit for Jess. Another hit for the freshman.
Jess Norton again going ahead and continuing her hot hitting at the plate. She drives the ball to the opposite field. So now runners on first and second. Top of the second inning. Royals up 1-0, and up comes Madison Moss. Madison with a couple hits in the first contest. Again, has put the ball in play quite a bit this year. The young freshman first baseman has done a good job at the plate, getting her timing down plate.
Yeah, and I think, again, just going back to that game against Sevastopol, first varsity game for a lot of these girls for Assumption, and it's much different, obviously, going up against a different team than just your pitching machine or your the pitching machine or your own teammates into that rhythm of, hey, we got on a bus, we came here, we drove here. Get into that routine is much different for a 18-year-old senior than a 14, 15-year-old freshman. So.
Absolutely. Not to mention the fact that I thought the Sevastopol pitcher really threw a nice rise ball. Sevastopol is going to be one of the tougher teams over in the Packerland Conference. We talked about that as well. But, again, they're in a very, very, very tough sectional with Wabino, Pacelli, Newman Catholic. But don't be surprised to see Sevastopol make a perhaps even a sectional level run or a regional final run. That's a good squad that's over there.
The 1-2 now to Moss. High and away for a ball. Evens it up at 2-2.
And as we learned, they were without Libby Ash, who should now be returning from injury in case we have any of our Sevastopol friends joining us. So just cleaning up that chat from a couple weeks ago.
The 2-2 now. That's low for a ball there from Strevler to Moss. Count runs full to the Assumption freshman first baseman.
3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runners on first and second. 1-0.
That's going to be popped up and out of play. It looks like Kylie Carroll might be on deck for Assumption. Just a ton of freshmen on this Assumption team this year, and get thrown right in with the Wolves to start your varsity career. The 3-2 to Moss draws the walk.
You mean in with the Wildcats?
Yeah,
not necessarily with the Wolves. But again, point taken. So Moss draws a walk. So now your base is full, top of the second inning. Wildcats down 1-0, but in some significant trouble here as you've got Kylie Carroll and then the top of the order with Anna Schooley coming, waiting on deck.
We got Delaney first, I think.
Oh, Delaney first. Okay,
yep.
My bad.
First offering to Carroll, misses for a ball.
Yeah, I suppose 9 hit versus 8. That would be good. The flex always gets me. I apologize, Stevie. That's one of those deals, the flex and the DP, it's
missed inside. For Delaney Hahn, and you had mentioned it before, don't even have to go up there with a bat. I mean, she's gotten hit with pitches. I mean, the last 2 times she batted in that first game, she got hit. So, I mean, just it's a requirement in baseball and softball to have a bat, but sometimes doesn't even need to have one.
Well, one of my favorite lines from Rapids baseball is, again, we got ice. It's always always a fun line.
3 balls and no strikes to Kylie Carroll. Inside corner, good for a strike. 3-1 from Strevler.
Steve, now I heard today, don't quote me on this, that the Rapids baseball coach is 6 wins short of 400.
Yep.
That is an impressive career.
Yep, Bob Galita, one of a kind and a absolutely awesome coach in and around the area, a 2024 WBCA Hall of Famer. So congratulations to Bob Galita. A couple impressive wins over Rhinelander last weekend. And Carroll swings and misses. Strevler comes all the way back, and there's one away here in the visitor half of the second inning.
Bob has always been very good to Larry Bookberger and I from an umpiring standpoint. Just one of the good guys in baseball in that area, so I hope he does reach that milestone. And again, I believe it's 6 short, but that's an unofficial stat, so my apologies if that's not correct.
Grounded to Hahn. They'll get the out at home. And there's 2 away now for Anna Schooley as Hahn reached on the fielder's choice. He was at 391 before the year started. And, yeah, that makes sense. 394. Saw your buddy on Saturday umpiring. Yeah.
Yeah, at one of those deals, Larry definitely wears quite a bit of blue and stripes. That being stated, how about a shout-out to Morgan Strebler for the outstanding job she's done working her way out of this inning. Had the bases full, was able to go ahead and get the strikeout on Kylie Carroll, then was able to go ahead and get Hahn to go ahead and hit a ground ball back to her. Now Schooley's up, 2 outs, bases still full, Royals. But shout out to Morgan Strebler for going ahead and giving herself a chance to get out of this inning.
The 0-1 grounded foul past third, and just like that, Schooley behind 0-2. Yeah, that's if she's able to get out of here with no runs, that would be a magic trick there for Morgan Strebler. 3 on and 2 outs. And Schooley lines this one to center, and right there is Taylor Lemmer to make the catch. And an outstanding job by Morgan Strebler, absolutely, to get out of a bases-loaded, nobody-out jam here in the top of the second. No runs for Assumption. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Royals. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
What sets Nakusa Port Edward State Bank apart from other Wisconsin banks far beyond rates and financial services? You can expect an experience filled with individualized personal care unique to you and your business. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank has over 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area, local small and mid-sized businesses, while proudly supporting so many community projects over the years. They're your neighbors, your friends, and you'll find them actively serving communities where we work, live, and play. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sports Den, located on Marshfield's sunny south side since 1975. The Sports Den has the area's best selection of outdoor equipment. Find top brands of snowshoes, cross-country and downhill skis, snowboards, swimming equipment, skateboards, and more. The Sports Den has a full-service bike repair center along with top bike brands, Specialized, Trek, and others. The Sports Den is Central Wisconsin's Fat Bike headquarters. Visit the Sports Den in Marshfield Monday through Saturday and thesportsden.net.
Bottom of the second inning we go here in Wisconsin Rapids as, again, Morgan Strebler, an outstanding job in the top of the second inning to get a scoreless inning for Edgar defensively. And now Colano at the plate, the catcher here for Edgar in Game 2.
Well, Steve, no one's surprised. The Indiana Fever did select Caitlin Clark with the first overall pick. Los Angeles Sparks are on the clock now. I feel like, at our age, that you can kind of go back to the year that perhaps Michael Jordan was drafted and kind of just watched how the league evolved. I wonder if Caitlin will have that type of effect, but tonight feels like an important night for the WNBA as Caitlin Clark is officially a professional.
The 1-1. Swung on and missed.
And as our friend Dan Ross says, taking a pay cut to go from her NIA deal at Iowa to the WNBA, but hopefully she'll be able to transform that league the same way that she did in college basketball. So congratulations to Caitlin Clark.
The 1-2 from Kavanaugh. Misses inside. People always joke around about that, and I will honestly say that I was one of them that joked around that she would lose money from going to college to the NBA or WNBA. But the number of endorsements she'll probably sign before the night is over is going to be unbelievable. That's going to be fouled at the plate by Colano.
Steve, first let's hear from Wood Street Rentals. For any size job, when you need equipment, look to Wood Street Rentals. Offering a great variety of rental equipment to help you get the job done with delivery service to any job site. That's Wood Street Rentals.
The 2-2. Going to be grounded over to Vollard at second. Goes through the wickets, and there's going to be an error on Macy here in the second.
Steve, so we talked a little bit before about the Saturday Night Live skit that Caitlin Clark did that went viral. It's that type of popularity. It's her on TV 36 times. It's them playing at the T-Mobile Arena versus playing at the Aces Arena that will draw additional TV money and additional crowds for the WNBA that will go ahead and change that equity. Like I said, we'll see if she can do, honestly, the popularity that she drove to the women's college game this year with 18.3 million viewers for the championship game is amazing. We'll see if she can replicate that in the WNBA. The other thing I'm really curious to see on is if she's included in Team USA Olympics. We talked about the men committing, but I think you drive tremendous interest if you put her on Team USA as well.
The 1-0 is good for a strike. Evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Look out. Foul ball out of play. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Bottom of the second inning. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Royals took game 1. 10-0 behind an impressive pitching performance by Macy Vollert. Equally impressive was the job that Morgan Streveler did in the top half of the second inning, working out of a bases-loaded, nobody-out jam to keep this a 1-0 game. And the Wildcats threatening here in now the bottom half of the inning.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Riley Miller, the right fielder. Foul straight back at us into the screen, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lexi Shara, the courtesy runner for the catcher Colano.
I believe that Riley Miller is the daughter of Roy Miller, local slow pitch legend Roy Miller from the Edgar area in terms of where it goes, if I'm not mistaken. Oop. We've got, again, talked about the great crowd that's out here. We've got a few kids playing out in right field. Somebody tattooed a wiffle ball that came onto the field, and Kylie makes a play out there to get the ball back. That was nice of her.
2-2 misses high and away. Count runs full now to Miller. The runner at first and nobody out here in the home half of the second inning. 1-0 Assumption. Shara from first, Miller at the plate, the 3-2. Swung on a miss, and a big strikeout there for Kavanaugh. That's her third here in game number 2.
Now batting number 6, third baseman.
Ari has the, I was going to say the lone win, but now Macy's got a win, so that's factually incorrect. So Ari threw game 2 of the doubleheader the other night against Auburndale and really did a nice job against their lineup. Not only working her way through with some timely strikeouts, but she fielded the position very well. She had 2 really nice stabs in that game, which kept Auburndale at bay and allowed the Royals at that time to go ahead and earn the split with Auburndale. Now picking up another conference win over Edgar for 2-1. I know that Newman and Auburndale were playing tonight. I assume that Stratford and late throw down the first by Claire Nelson got past Madison Moss, but Kylie Carroll with a terrific backup play, hustle play to keep her at first base. I assume it's Marathon and Stratford tonight. I know Marathon and Stratford baseball is playing. Is Marathon and Stratford softball playing as well?
Yes, I believe so. And then right away again tomorrow. It's going to be grounded to the pitcher. Schooley to second, to cross in time. 1-6-3 double play. And just like that, the Royals get out of it here in the second inning. No runs, no hits. There was an error, and there were nobody left on. We have played to complete. It is 1-0 Assumption. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
Business owners share so many challenges, but there's one challenge that has an easy solution. Branding your business with creative graphics and a plethora of effective print marketing options is as easy as Quality Plus Printing. With over 30 years of marketing expertise and a track record of happy customers, you can trust in Quality Plus Printing to develop the perfect brand for you. As a business owner, you have enough to focus on. Give yourself a break and trust in Quality Plus Printing on each street in Wisconsin Rapids, or find us at qpprinting.com. That's qpprinting.com.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.
Ari Kavanaugh to lead things off, a triple. A run scored back in the first inning and started that 1-6-3 double play. Offers at a bunt and fouls it straight back, and it's 0-1. An SCS apartment or home is where you want to live, work, and play all throughout central Wisconsin, the Chippewa Valley, and the Fox Valley. No matter where you live, look to SC Swiderski to make you feel right at home. Visit scswiderski.com for more. The 0-1 is high in a way. Evens it up at a ball and strike.
You know, Steve, we talked about the strength of this young Royals team being the middle of, or the core, if you will, catcher, pitcher, short, second, center field. There's younger players in left and right and third and in first. But the end of that inning was a pretty good example. That was a chopping ball hit back to Kavanaugh. She immediately turned and threw a strike to Schooley, who turned and made a terrific throw over to Madison Moss. I mean, you see high school softball with a double play like that turn. That's pretty high-level ball, especially, you know, when you talk about a young Royals team. But other than Madison Moss, that's the core experience shining through. And that's why this Royals team, you know, despite the 1-4 record, is ranked in Division 5 and is going to be a tough outcome the postseason when they get into that sectional play.
3-1 foul back. Count runs full now with 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 Strevler to Kavanaugh, followed by Nelson and Vollert here for the Royals in the visitor half of the third inning. 1-0 Royals. The 3-2 from Strevler. Miss low and in, and Kavanaugh draws the walk, and we'll see if she uses her speed here with nobody out and a runner at first.
My apologies if I'm the only one interested, but Cameron Brink was selected as the second pick by the LA Sparks. Now it'll be interesting to see if Kim Cardoso comes off the board. That's a 6'7" center from South Carolina. That would be the direction that I would go. But Raya Jackson from Tennessee also up on the clock as well.
There goes Kavanaugh and Nelson into left field. A nice job out there in left to keep the ball in front. And there's runners at first and second again for the Royals with nobody out for Macy Vollert. Lined to second to end the first.
Claire with a really nice patient job of hitting, pitched outside, taking it outside, hard hit line drive. So first and second, top of the third inning, 1-0 Royals. Strevler again in trouble, but again in the second inning she was in all forms of trouble, although she bounces that one short, and both runners are going to advance on wild pitch, pass ball.
Yep.
Whatever it is, we'll let Steve Maves determine the official from that regards. Anyway, it got past the catcher. So now you've got 2 runners in scoring positions for Macy Vollert, who has been swinging a hot stick for the Royals as well.
2 in scoring position for the Royals. Nobody out. The 1-0. Hits the bottom of the zone, evens it up at a ball and a strike to Macy. Lydia Smits awaits on deck for the Royals here in the visitor half of the third inning. Again, conference doubleheader. The second game was supposed to be played at Edgar tomorrow. That's going to be line into right field. Fowler drives in another one. They will send Nelson. Holder bobbled. And now a run will score for the Royals.
Really a smart play by Macy Vullert, who sprinted down that line and made sure she ran through it. With the right fielder coming in as aggressively as she did, I thought maybe there'd be a play at first, and Macy Yunker was hanging tight by the first baseman, but Macy ran through that as a smart heads-up play to go ahead and not only bring in a run, but to put the runners on first and third.
Unlock the best home, auto, commercial, and personal loans in the Rapids area. Key Savings Bank. Key Savings Bank. No matter what you're financing, Key Savings Bank has the personal touch to put you at ease. Dream big, small rates at Key Savings Bank. Reminder that after the game, hear from our friends at Next Step Prosthetics. Next Step Prosthetics, providing prosthetics and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. Give Shy a call and he'll hook you up. He's one of the best in the area at Next Step Prosthetics. 2 on and nobody out. And Macy Vollard will take second base.
So you see the Royals take advantage of that extra base quite often, obviously trying to draw a throw, seeing if they can get a run home. That's an interesting one where Edgar came in, the shortstop came in, and Macy stopped. I have not seen the Royals necessarily do it or take it that far to try to draw the throw, but irregardless, runners on second and third, still nobody out. Lydia Schmitz at the plate for the Royals trying to go ahead and extend on this 2-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. Again, top of the third inning is correct. Game 2 of the doubleheader, Edgar is the home team, as this is the conference game moved up because of the impending doomsday rainstorm weather that is coming tomorrow.
The 2-0 to Lydia's missed tie. Jess Norton, who has been on a tear lately, is on deck. 3-0 now to Lydia here in the top of the third.
Speaking of all that rain, the only fruit that Noah brought on the ark, Steve?
What is that?
It was a pear.
3-0 to Smits. Doesn't get the green light, and Strevler hits the outside corner, and it's 3-1. Getting some good chuckles up here. 3-1 to Smits. 3 balls and a strike. 2 on, nobody out. Right at the bottom of the zone and just misses. And the count runs bases are now loaded for Jess Norton.
One would say this is where Strevler feels most comfortable with the Royals, as again she was in the exact same situation in the second inning and was able to go ahead and work through it. But bases full of Royals, top of the third inning, 2-0. Jess Norton at the plate, the hot hitting Jess Norton.
Fouled straight back, and Strevler gets ahead in the count, 0-1. Madison Watts awaits on deck. Appreciate everyone tuning in this late afternoon, early evening here in central Wisconsin. Assumption Edgar softball from Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids. A ball and a strike. Brewers back in action today. Finally back home to American Family Field. They lead the San Diego Padres 1-0. The 1-1. Norton fouls it back.
I in no way, shape, or form am a valued prognosticator, but my outlook on the Brewers from the beginning of the year to where they're at now has definitely changed. It's a fun, young team. I really like the way that they're advancing the runner and playing it through. Hoskins has been a great addition, and it looks like they have enough young pitching to compete.
Missed outside, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jess Norton. And on the other side, have the San Diego Padres, just one of those teams, not quite to the extent that the Dodgers did this year, as count runs full. But the Padres, a team that spends an egregious amount of money on players, and they really never have seemed to pan out the last number of years. We'll get into the Dodgers here in a minute. The 3-2. That was going to be lifted to second. And everybody will retreat. The base umpire, a late infield fly call with 2 outs.
I was just going to say, no, only 1 out, I believe, right?
Oh, yes.
The scoreboard says 1 out anyway.
Yep, that's my fault.
Not that we can trust the scoreboard here with the guys running it, but it's I believe it's just 1 out. But a nice play, not only to catch that ball, but to keep Claire Nelson at third base. So 1 away.
And now Madison Moss to short, and everybody will be safe. An RBI base hit for Madison Moss. And the Royals add another one here. Tough play at short. But Moss able to get a bat on it and score a run.
I thought it was a really nice play by the shortstop, Kaiser, who came in and charged that ball. And when she came in to charge that ball, she had to get in front of the runner. And there really wasn't much of a play at first. She was unable to go home with it. But a nice job keeping it in front is now Edgar is going to go ahead and bring the infield in.
Lexi Stofflet hitting now here. And Stofflet, slow roller to first, to home, no play. Vollert's going to be safe. And the Royals add another one, back-to-back infield base hits.
Macy Yonker found herself in a really tough spot there. You know, the lefty drifted off of first base. With second base playing as deep as she was, she needed to come up with the right play, but there was nobody to cover first base. So Macy, making a senior decision, tried to get the out at home, but unfortunately was unable to get it.
Now Delaney Hahn with the bases loaded, 1 out. Bounces in there, 1-0.
One of the things I love, I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera or not, but I love to watch Lydia Schmidt lead off third base. She gets her steps in as she comes down the line aggressively each time.
1 ball, no strikes. Hahn, and that one's going to be backhanded. They're going to get the out at home this time. Nice play by Strevler to get the out.
Morgan Strevler, again, doing a terrific job of working out of a bases-loaded jam. So now there are 2 away. Moss on third, Stofflet on second, Hahn on first, and up comes Anna Schooley.
Her 4th at-bat tonight with the bases loaded. And Kylie Carroll is going to come in and run for Stofflet at second base. The 4th time in the last 2 games. Last 2 games that Anna Schooley has batted with the bases loaded. Opportunity again here with 2 outs. That was going to be popped up, foul territory, fair territory, tough play. It's going to be foul.
Going to be a foul ball down the line. It was touched in foul territory. We actually had a similar play the other night where it was touched in foul territory. It looked like it may have bounced fair. Just wanted to make sure that we had the umpire's call before we kind of had an announcement there. In the meantime, Coach Nelson taking an opportunity to have a coaching moment. As he was telling them, there's 2 outs, run until I tell you to stop. I'm paraphrasing for Coach Nelson, as we are a family program. But it's one of those deals where, again, good opportunities and a good reminder to coach up some of Coach Nelson's young talent.
The 0-1. Missed inside just barely, and it runs even at a ball and a strike. Excuse me.
Morgan Strevler did a great job getting Anna to fly to Anderson for the 3rd out in the second inning in a similar situation. We'll see if she can go ahead and work through it this inning as well.
Going to be grounded foul past third. Again, all freshmen on the base paths for Assumption with Moss, Carroll, and Hahn for the Royals.
Good news, bad news. All freshmen on the base paths for Coach Nelson. Bad news is if he didn't have gray hair, he's going to have gray hair by the time that perhaps this at-bat is over. Just so much teaching, so much upside for this young Royal team, but so much teaching and learning for them to do for Coach Schill and Coach Nelson.
Going to be grounded up the middle and a base hit. They are going to send Kylie Carroll around third. The throw is not going to be made, and a 2 RBI base hit. And Anna Schooley's big day continues here for the Royals.
Anna Schooley going ahead and doing a great job of staying patient. She saw really a wide gap in the middle of the field with second and short both playing in the holes, and was able to just go ahead and put it in to the middle of the field to extend this lead to 6-0 Royals. Top of the third inning as now Ari Kavanaugh comes on with runners on first and second, 2 outs.
With very good speed on the base pass, and Kavanaugh rips this one to right center field, and the catch is going to be made out there by Riley Miller. Royals score 5. They leave 2. We've played 2.5. 6-0 Assumption. We'll be back after this quick break on Zaleski Sports.
Wisconsin River Orthopedics has been providing comprehensive care to Wood County for over 50 years. We offer urgent care for orthopedic pain and injuries, joint replacement, along with focused sports medicine care from evaluation to rehabilitation. Our facilities offer a spacious rehab center to get you back to doing what you love most, along with the latest technology in our ambulatory surgery center and a comfortable open MRI. Stop living with pain and limited range in your joints. Turn to Wisconsin River Orthopedics and get back to the way life is meant to be.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fure, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflatiri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Bottom of the third inning we go here in Wisconsin Rapids. Ari Kavanaugh back out there for her third inning of work. Now she has a 6-0 lead to work with. Before that last half inning, it was just 1-0. Royals pounding across some big-time hits and some timely running, or base running, and they scratched across 5 runs in that visitor half of the third inning.
Hey, Steve, did you know that Solaris customers have enjoyed the same low price for 5 years running? No tricks, no gimmicks, no kidding. Packages starting at $49.99 a month. Visit Solaris.net today to learn more.
Again, a very, very big advocate for our friends over at Solaris. Appreciate them big time.
They have treated the Jake Linsky family well, as they've been extremely reliable and offered great customer service the few times that we've needed. So, again, shout out to Solaris. Appreciate them being sponsor of Zaleski Sports, and encourage you to check them out.
The 0-2, Kavanaugh misses the low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the order due up next for Edgar. Taylor Lemmer on deck for the Cats. Check swing, and she was able to hold up. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Willert doing a good job going ahead and seeing pitches and working to a deep count here against Kavanaugh.
That was going to be hit to left, and a leadoff base hit for the number 9 hitter, Willert.
Very nice job of hitting by the bottom of the order for the Wildcats. Willert went ahead and earned a 2-2 count, got an inside fastball that she could pull, and hit it out to left field. Good job by the left fielder, Jordan Jaglinski. Go ahead and getting that ball in play, keeping her at first base. So no outs, bottom of the third inning, 6-0 Royals, but Edgar threatening here.
That's going to be hit over to short. Vollert, and they'll hold the Macy will hold it at second, and there's 1 away.
Steve, Made Custom Apparel in Stevens Point provides quality decorative apparel from your hometown schools and summer teams to corporate and team outings, along with promotional items and sporting goods. Visit Made Custom Apparel.
Now Bella Kaiser walked back in the first inning. First offering to Kaiser is good for a strike.
The real question is has the move been completed? Is Zaleski Sports finally officially at a new home?
Well, from what I was told today, I was going to be grounded foul past third, is that the U-Haul had to be back in Marshfield by 5, so I'm guessing so. Yeah, I'm assuming so. Now I'm not even I'm not even permitted to go in the building. I don't even have a key yet. So
the final boss will be calling you later with additional details. So
the 0-2 misses for a ball.
Congratulations to Zaleski Sports. It's been really fun to see the organization expand with Jason. Again, the most exciting and most recent developments, in addition to the Eau Claire expansion, is, of course, our expansion down into the Milwaukee area, bringing you a lot of outstanding ball from now all over the state.
Yep.
East, west, north, south. Zaleski Sports has you covered, and we can bring you all of that for free thanks to not only all of you who tune in, but to all of our great sponsors. We really appreciate it. Fun times down there, and bright future ahead.
A 2-2, and Kavanaugh count runs full at 3-2.
I'm really excited for Friday nights this fall, Steve. It's one of those deals where if you're a high school football fan in the state of Wisconsin, you're going to have an opportunity to see some of the absolute best teams in the state each week for free on Zaleski Sports.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout there for Kavanaugh, and there's 2 away here in the third. Strikeout number 4 for Ari here in game number 2.
We've seen with Kavanaugh when early in the season when she needs to go get a hitter, she has a little bit more she can reach back and find. But now Morgan Streveler comes up, who has been Edgar's hottest hitter tonight.
And she fouls that. First one straight back, and it's 0-1.
Waller on first base, 2 outs. Maybe it's Anderson. That's Lemmer on first base.
Yep.
As Waller was put out on the force at second. 2 outs, irregardless.
Allen misses low for a ball. Evens it up at a ball and strike. The 1-1 can be hit over to third. Delaney Hahn across, slow throw. Nice throw by Hahn to retire the side. Here in the Edgar third, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. We have played 3 complete. It is Assumption 6, Edgar nothing. You're watching high school softball at Zaleski Sports.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
Welcome. How may we help you?
New windows, new garage, new car, swimming pool, tuition. We're not talking scholarship here. And a vacation.
Our affordable home equity line of credit may be just what you need.
Medical expenses, braces for our youngest. How about the dog? Roof. How about the roof? And did I mention how long I wanted that vacation to be?
Your money, your life. How may we help you?
Claire Nelson at the plate here for Assumption in the visitor half of the 4th inning. Royals leading 6-0. Nelson fouled the first one off, and it's 0-1.
Claire Nelson with a hard hit line drive to left field in her last at bat. Doing a nice job, again, way up in the box.
High and tight on Claire, spinning her out of the way, and he evens it up at a ball and strike. Nelson Vollard Smits for the Royals here in the top of the 4th inning, leading 6-0. Morgan Streveler in the circle here in game 2 for Edgar. Wheels and deals. Fouled it into the screen, and it's 1-2.
Steve, Sparhawk Trucking has become one of the area's leading trucking companies, reliably hauling for over 44 years. Come work for the best and learn more at sparhawktrucking.com.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Nelson. Low and out, 2-2.
Did we ever get any responses in the chat in regards to people's favorite snacks at Fleet Farm?
I don't think so. Nope. A lot of people watching, though. That's the big thing right now. Appreciate everyone tuning in and watching along with us as Nelson has a base hit back up the middle for Assumption, her second hit of the game.
Nelson continues to go ahead and hit the ball hard as she's done most of the season, Steve, as she went ahead and did a nice job of driving that one up the middle.
Score final from Eau Claire. See what Bob's got for us here. Columbus Catholic 2 and Regis nothing in Eau Claire.
Told you that was going to be a sneaky good game. Do you have you had a chance to see either Marathon baseball or Stratford baseball? I know that's tomorrow night on the network. It should be a really, really good baseball game, I would think.
Yeah, I saw Stratford a couple of weeks ago. They had a doubleheader against Rhinelander, and again, I don't want to. Yeah, I mean they are. Coach Marshall Lehman has, I think it's his 6th year or something at Stratford. He's nearing 100 wins already at Stratford. So I think his first year. One of his first years, they won state, so that's pretty good resume.
It's a good way to start the career.
Yeah.
I know the first year I joined Jason Van Elden, who's in over at Newman Catholic with Prentice. Jason, we call him Prentice. We were able to go ahead and make the state tournament. I thought, boy, that's a good way to start the career.
The 1-2 misses outside, 2-2.
I like to remind a good friend Prentice that it was 100% his assistant coach he added that helped put that team over the top, getting down of that hurdle over to state. So.
2 balls in, 2 strikes. High and tight on Vollert. Counter runs full.
You know, Steve, we've talked in the broadcast before about how tough the Marywood South is from a softball perspective, but think about it from a baseball perspective. Marathon, Stratford, Edgar, who was at state last year, returning a really good crop of returning athletes. Auburndale, who's got a great group of returning athletes.
Vollert lines this one to center. Lemmer comes in and makes the catch. Nice play again by Taylor Lemmer in center field.
Good read by Claire Nelson across the board. You know, again, unfortunately for Rapids Assumption, low numbers this year, but they've got some good young talent coming. And then Newman Catholic was unable to field a team this year from a baseball perspective. But the top 4 in the Marywood South, night in, night out, will battle test each other.
Allen rolls in there. Nelson will take second on the wild pitch.
Anna reminding Clara that she'd been standing on third, but that's okay. Again, Claire Nelson with a really nice read. One of the valuable things for the Royals is her experience where she's able to go ahead and she had a great read on that nice play out in center field by Lemmer and then able to go ahead and immediately get the jump on that pass ball.
Smith spikes that one off the plate across. Everybody's going to be safe.
Speaking of the read, so again, watch the shortstop bobble that, went ahead and took advantage of getting the third on the throw. So now first and third, 1 out. Schmitz on first. Nelson on third. Hot hitting Jess Norton coming up to the plate. Jess Norton with at least 4 hits tonight on the ball game if we go back to the first game as well as the second.
Yep, 3 in the first and 1 here in the second. And she had an infield fly in her last at-bat. Runners at the corners and 1 out. Way behind the fastball, and Lydia Smits will walk into second base.
Again, as most of the, what I would say, higher quality softball teams do, they go ahead and they take advantage of that base on that first pitch, putting runners in scoring position. So now runners on second and third, where a hit with especially Schmidt's speed and aggressiveness in the baseball on the base paths will most likely go ahead and extend this to an 8-0 lead. Strebler probably needs to go ahead and walk Jess before she really gets serious, which is kind of where she's been so good with the bases loaded tonight.
0-2 now. Norton swings at a high fastball. Smits and Nelson, the runners for Assumption here in the top of the 4th inning. Game 2 of our doubleheader. 0-2 to Norton, misses outside. And runs 1-2.
You know, Steve, we started talking at the top of the broadcast. First of all, again, just wanted to wish Michaela Workis well one more time. Hopefully she's able to have a full recovery and extend her college career as she gets back recovering from a surgery. But Edgar, on their third pitcher now, with Michaela Workis, of course, being one, Colano being starting the first game, and now Strevler starting the third game. And I'm impressed with this Wildcat fight. They have fielded the ball well on quite a few balls that Assumption has put in play, and they've done a good job of throwing strikes.
Good eye there by Norton, and it rolls in there 2-2. We also have some breaking news out of the Major League Baseball sports broadcasting world. We'll get that to you here in just a moment. News about one of the all-time greats. And that one's off the glove of Strevler. They'll go to first for the out. Nelson will score, but Norton drives in another one here on the 1-4-3 putout. Two away.
Fielder's choice by Norton, but again, a really good job to put the ball in play. Schmitz advanced to third. Nelson scores. 7-0 Royals. By the way, you had started talking earlier about San Diego. I was going to make the comment that they have Ron Burgundy. They shouldn't really have all the different riches. But you said you were going to move on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Did you want to finish that thought?
Sure. That's one thing that most people don't like about Major League Baseball. No salary cap. That's what the Yankees used to do. Not so much anymore. I mean, they still spend a lot of money. But this offseason, the Dodgers, I think, total with their, as Moss pops this one up to behind second and off the glove of Borkhardt. And Smits will score. Borkhardt looked like she may have tripped in the grass, and Moss will stand at first. But something that the Yankees used to do, Dodgers more so now with the owners that they have, this offseason spent a total of nearly $1.3 billion signing players to their roster this year. And obviously that's going to – I shouldn't say obviously, but it could result in some wins and all that stuff. But it's egregiously a large amount of money to spend in baseball and anything to – I mean, it was not even a large amount of guys, just a couple of baseball players that you spend $1.3 billion on to stack your team.
So whether or not you believe, follow, understand the story with Shohei Ohtani or not, the report is that his interpreter stole $16 million from him. If somebody steals $16 from you and I, Steve, we probably know, right? So the fact that he had $16 million taken from him and it's not financially hurting him, I think tells you everything you kind of need to know about Shohei Ohtani. And all that being stated, it's certainly a generational talent. You know, does it with the pitch, does it at the plate. I mean, just impressive all the way around. But to that point, the inequity of baseball continues to be an interesting piece. You said you had breaking news from the announcing world.
Yeah, so John Sterling, the longtime voice of the New York Yankees, the longtime radio voice of the New York Yankees, John Sterling, due to some health issues, will hold a press conference on Friday at Yankee Stadium, I would assume, and he will end his broadcasting career effective immediately. I would assume not tonight, but probably before their weekend series on Friday, starting on Friday. So John Sterling, one of the legendary voices in Major League Baseball, calling it a career after over 50 years with the New York Yankees.
Is John Sterling an A-bomb from A-Rod?
Probably, yeah.
That's kind of the case.
He had a lot of sayings.
Yeah, I still like all rise for the judge. Again, I think the opportunity to go ahead and broadcast and call Derek Jeter is one of my absolute favorite all-time athletes. Part of the evil empire of the Yankees you were you're referring to, but absolutely positively, a guy that played the game right. If you love hustle players, you love Derek Jeter. So thoughts and prayers to John Sterling. I hope all is as well as he starts the next chapter of his life, not necessarily career, but next chapter of his life. So one away. Kavanaugh with a low throw to first. Moss scoops it out. So one down, and that brings up number 3.
Now batting number 3, second baseman Emery Borchardt.
Emery Borchardt at the plate. Again, the younger sister of Reagan Borchardt. Had a chance to coach Reagan Borchardt in the WBC All-Star Game. So if Reagan's listening, hello, Reagan. Say hello in the chat, but hope you're doing well wherever you are. The last I heard, she was going to UW River Falls, I believe. She was going to study large animal
science or
science. Eventually, she wants to be a veterinarian. I don't know if that's still what the plan is or if that's still where she's at, but that was where she was at this summer. So Reagan, really a nice 3-sport athlete for Edgar, and yet another really nice young lady that we've had a pleasure to broadcast here on Zaleski Sports.
0-2 here to Borchardt. We'll get you a score update from Merrillwood South baseball here in just a moment, as Stratford and Marathon ended their matchup number 1. Marathon a favorite out of not just the Merrillwood South, but in their sectional as well. And that one runs 2-2, and they just got shut out by Stratford tonight, 4-0, as our buddy Chad Holmes. Marathon was 1 hit, and that came in the 7th inning.
You talked about Coach Gillespie about being a legendary coach for Marathon. How about Steve Warren and the years that he's had over there? His famous line, battle to the next pitch, in terms of where it goes. But as I told you before, Stratford, Marathon, Auburndale, Edgar is going to be a real battle in the Merrillwood South, as Emery Borchardt goes ahead and draws a 1-out walk, giving the Wildcats a runner here in the bottom of the 4th inning, trailing the Royals 8-0. Assumption was able to win the first game 10-0 in 5 innings behind a strong pitching performance from Macy Vullert. Once again, Ari Kavanaugh shutting down the Wildcats so far in game number 2.
Colano at the plate. See if Borchardt takes off. I know she's got some pretty good speed over at first as well for the Cats. The 1-0. Can be fouled at the plate and evens it up at a ball and a strike.
Colano, a freshman catcher with a strong arm, threw out a runner at third base. Threw out Kavanaugh at third base, actually. In fact, in the first game, that's not something that happens a whole lot. Ari with really good speed. So Colano connection appears to be a really nice connection for this young Wildcat team. Something to build on, kind of going forward. In this particular lineup. I know that Macy Yonker is a senior. I'm not sure how many other seniors are on this Wildcat team, but good young core irregardless.
The 2-1 is swung on and missed. Throw down to first, and Borchardt is back just in time. It evens it up at 2-2.
I was just going to make the comments that as the sun sets and the lights have come on here at the ballpark, you're starting to see a few of the bugs come out.
Yeah.
I was just noticing our left fielder out there going ahead and trying to keep the bugs out of her face. You could see it in the outfield.
Popped up on the infield. Nelson won't catch it. It's going to roll foul. And the count will remain 2-2.
So it's a really, so it's interesting. Coach Nelson talking to Claire about taking the mask off, but realistically, that first baseman, you probably don't want your pitcher to do it, although Ari is very sure-handed, but your first baseman should probably come in direct traffic on that. Much easier to coming forward because you can see that the whole way than to have Claire, who is 3/4 of the way up the first base line, try to go ahead and grab that. Regardless, ball falls.
2-2 is going to be lined foul down the right field line that time. Remains even at 2-2.
Steve, we talked about it. We've talked about it multiple times. It's a young Royal team on the corner, so the core very strong. Catcher, pitcher, short, second, center field. But in left and right field, you're playing younger players, and at third and first base, you're playing younger players at 2 very important spots. Each game, I think they'll get better, but each game, I'm sure there's learning moments for Coach Nelson and Coach Hill to coach.
2-2 misses high, and count runs full now at 3-2, and that's one of those things. Again, I don't know Madison Moss personally, But that's one of those things that as she matures, as she gets older, she'll have that feel like she has that authority to scream off a junior.
I was just going to say, now, in Madison's defense, Claire Nelson is a lot of things, including a very big personality. She's high energy. She's bubbly. she's a great kid, a young lady. Don't mean to call her a kid in terms of where it goes, but it's a lot to ask Madison to be like, "Hey, I got this." You know, you got a Division II Missouri Western State commit coming down the line.
That's going to be backhanded by Schooley. No play had there by Anna. Another infield base hit, but another nice play out there at short.
Yeah, just finishing the thought, you're going to have a 14-year-old freshman first base tell the Division II catcher commit, "Hey, I got this one." So, in her defense, it'll kind of come from there. That being stated, infield hit bringing up Allison Colano with now runners on first and second base, where a base hit can go ahead and get Edgar on the board for the first time tonight.
They're going to be hit over to Vollard at second, underhands it to first, and that'll end our fourth inning. No runs on a hit. Edgar leaves 2 more. We've played 4 complete. It is 8-0 Assumption. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale, we have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Chili Implement, located just west of Marshfield in Chili, is your Kubota dealer in central Wisconsin. Big or small, Chili Implement has all the best equipment waiting for you. From farm tractors to lawn care, plus work and have fun in a Kubota side-by-side. Choose Chili Implement for your parts and service too. Chili Implement, open Monday through Saturday to serve you and 24/7 online at chiliimplement.com.
Top of the 5th inning we go. Hahn, Schooley, Kavanaugh for the Royals here in the top of the 5th against Morgan Strevler. Just having a conversation up here. Royals back in action on Friday. They host Rib Lake. And then Saturday morning they go to Laconia for a big-time.
I believe that's been updated for those planning to make the trip. It's noon and 2, I believe they changed. That those times have changed too, Steve.
So then So I saw like 10 different times. So Pacelli and Laconia must play the first game at 10.
Yes.
Assumption and Pacelli play at noon, and then Assumption plays Laconia at 2, I would assume. That's usually how triangulars work.
Based upon the, I was just going to say, it seems like it logically makes sense. Based upon the email, most recent communication that Coach Hill sent, I believe it is noon and 2. But as always, make sure you check out the school website or check with your local Royal fan or your normal source when you take a look at it. But I believe it's noon and 2.
The 0-2, Hahn pops it up. Behind first is Borkart. She makes the catch for out number 1.
Steve, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a free quote from Carrie Van Aert, State Farm at State Farm on auto, homeowners, life insurance, renters, and more for both Wisconsin Rapids and Marshfield. Find Carrie Van Aert State Farm on Facebook to get started today.
Anna Schooley at the plate, 1 for 3 here in game 2 from that leadoff spot. First one misses outside for a ball. Her freshman year, Anna was in that championship run that Assumption had. She moved from the 3 or 4 spot up to that leadoff spot midway through the year, and then I think at the end as well. And she really shined from that number 1 batting spot for Assumption. Now she stands there right now with a grand slam in game 1 and a 2 RBI single in the third inning of this game. The 2-0 to Schooley. Going to be popped up on the infield. Communication is going to be caught by Kaiser, and there's 2 away. Nice play there by Kaiser. 2 up and 2 down for Ari Kavanaugh.
You know, Steve, as the weather turns nice, a lot of people are thinking about thatching their grass or perhaps going ahead and grinding that stump or getting rid of some of that landscaping, the honeydew projects. I know that if anybody's interested, I have a few of those to do at the house as well.
As Kavanaugh singles to right center.
That being stated, a lot of those projects require something you don't have. So who are you going to call? Not Ghostbusters. How about Wood Street Rentals? For any size job, when you need equipment, look to Wood Street Rentals, offering a great variety of rental equipment to help you get the job done with delivery service to any job site. That's Wood Street Rentals. Check them out.
Now Claire Nelson at the plates. 2 for 3 in this game. A couple of singles for Claire. Kavanaugh, fantastic speed. Sands at first. I was really noticing that, and Paul mentioned it earlier, the last half inning. The amount of bugs that have come out just recently. I was at home today, and I just saw them just congregating. They were all over the place already this morning or this afternoon, and down here, nighttime. They've come out to play here in Wisconsin Rapids.
We were out on the golf course last night when we got back from Milwaukee. And I told Sarah, I said, insects really bug me. So, that joke didn't fly very well at our house. So.
The 2-0. Nelson lines it up the middle. Look out, Ari, as Kavanaugh will come around to score. And Nelson will trot into second. She's going to be safe at second base. Another run scores for Assumption.
You know, Steve, just an underrated portion of Claire Nelson's game is the way she can make a read. So, again, that ball is hit to center field. First of all, it's good hustle to get down the line and around the base. She noticed the bobble by Lemmer and aggressively took second base. Now, why is that so big? Because now a base hit by Vollert, and the Royals are able to go ahead and pick up an extra run.
And that one's going to be lined to center again. They will send her. The left-handed throw is going to be cut off, and Vollert is going to stand at second base.
And just like that, that's where the extra run, or the aggressiveness on the base path comes from. So you talk about some of those young Royals. Hopefully they're watching, learning from Claire Nelson. You talk about what's the difference between a college-level softball player and a high school-level softball player. You just witness it. That's the difference, where you're able to go ahead and pick up that extra base. It results in a 10-run lead now here in the top of the 5th inning. Nice piece of hitting and running by Claire Nelson and Macy Vollert.
Lydia Smits looks at a strike, and it's 0-1. Again, damage for the Royals with 2 outs again here tonight has been big time. They scored 6 runs in the 3rd inning of game number 1 with 2 outs. Runner at second here. Smits looks at a ball low, evens it up at a ball and strike.
Steve, as we do each night, we kind of talk a little bit about the fact that, the state tournament is, the tournament play is, it feels like it's a forever away, and then it's only a couple weeks away because of the short softball season. Do you know, as Edgar?
Line drive. And they're going to hold Vollert, and it gets through, and Lydia will take second base.
Again, nice base running by the Royals. Is Edgar Division II or Division III this year for softball? Do you know? They kind of bounce back and forth.
I think in softball, I think they're 4 with Auburndale.
With 4 and 5. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There's too many divisions. I get very confused. Anyway, let's look at who's in Edgar's. Let's see if we can find. So Edgar is a Division IV. They're in Group B as Jess Norton comes to the plate.
2 on and 2 out for Jess. Grounded right back to Stroller, and that will end the top of the 5th inning. We'll keep it here as we go through playoffs.
Yeah, so Edgar in Group B of Sectional 3. Again with Auburndale, Edgar, Loyal Greenwood, Marathon, Montello, Nacita, Spencer, Stratford. So again, in with some conference foes. The other side of that is, one of the state powers traditionally is Blair Taylor. I have no idea if they're any good this year or not, but let's just assume that they are, as they typically are. And Osseo Fairchild over on that side is typically pretty strong as well. So I mean that's what you have for the Edgar preview, in terms of where it goes. It's interesting to talk about this young Royals team. So picked up win number 2 in the first game, picking up win number 3 here, or potentially picking up win number 3 outs away from it here in the second game. They are once again in that southwest corner. Assumption is with Alma Center Lincoln, Cochran Fountain City, Columbus Catholic, who obviously having a good strong season. Pepin Alma, Pittsville, Port Edwards Royal, and again, I think just a good opportunity to send thoughts and prayers to the community of Pittsville, who is, I'm sure, mourning a very tragic situation over the weekend. Our thoughts and prayers to all of the affected individuals of the community as we all mourn with you and pray for peace.
Yep, absolutely right. As a swing and a miss there by Wooler here in the fifth inning. 10-0 Assumption. Royals back in action, hosting Rib Lake Friday. Then Laconia and Pacelli on Saturday down in Laconia. And then next week, I think it's Marathon Week next week, as the Royals and Red Raiders will duel it out in a couple of games next week.
The Raiders. So, just, again, busy week. If you're going to play 20 softball games in a 4-week stretch, you got to play 4 to 5 games a week. That's just all there is to it.
Offering swung on and missed.
I'm sure Coach Nelson and Coach Schill, they'll welcome Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with this young group of Royals, as, again, lots of opportunities they've grown a lot since the first time we've seen them, Steve, but still lots of opportunities to go ahead and improve and build upon.
Yep, absolutely right. 3 balls and 2 strikes here. Ari Kavanaugh in the circle. Game 2. And she'll kick and fire home here on the payoff. And fouled at the plate by Woollett.
Steve, we thank our pregame sponsor tonight, who we had, which of course was Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank, our pregame sponsor.
3-2 coming here, and then we'll hear from Rob Sigler and the fine folks over there. Popped up, look out straight back here. Nelson along the screen, and she's going to make the catch for out number 1.
Claire Nelson not taking off the mask that time, no real time for it, but was able to come back, find the fence, similar to what we saw from Strevler in the first game. Really a nice play. That's a much tougher play than what you think. Anyway, at Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank, you can expect an experience filled with your individualized personal care unique to you and your business. Their more than 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area makes them your neighbors, your friends, and your family. Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Appreciate Rob and all the fine folks over at the Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank. Downtown Nakusa. High and away there to Lemmer. Evens it up at a ball and a strike.
Also appreciate our friends over at Staub Construction, who is a premier builder of municipal and industrial water and wastewater treatment systems in the Midwest. Staub Construction, 100% employee-owned company.
Popped up, shallow center. Lydia Smits calls everybody off, and a couple of steps off the infield makes the catch, and we are 1 out away here from concluding this doubleheader here tonight. 10-0 Assumption. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Bella Kaiser at the plate to walk and a strikeout.
I would think if you would ask Coach Nelson and Coach Schill if they would be pleased to start, providing they can get this out 3-1 in the Merriwood South this year, I think they would be tickled pink. I believe they have won. Now, again, I'm not really quite sure. I believe they have won 5 straight Merriwood South titles, and I believe that they're working to extend that streak again this year, putting themselves in a spot to have a chance to do so.
And there's a swing and a miss, and splitting with Auburndale last Friday was a huge step forward for this young team.
It was phenomenal. It was huge.
No balls and 2 strikes. Kavanaugh trying to finish it off here. Looks in, fires home. Missed outside, has wasted one there, and it's 1-2.
By the way, as a random 90s person, just in terms of what it's worth, on Saturday Night Live on Saturday night, did you see the Beavis and Butthead skit? That was great.
The 1-2 from Kavanaugh. High and away. Yeah, Ryan Gosling was perfect.
I thought he was absolutely fantastic in terms of where it goes. That was so well done. I think there's so many ways I'd like to see that skit be built upon, to be honest with you.
2-2, swung on and missed, and Kavanaugh gets the strikeout to end it, and the Royals pick up a doubleheader sweep here tonight over the Edgar Wildcats. 10-0, 10-0. as we will hear from Next Step Prosthetics. Come back, wrap this one up. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports.
Hi, I'm Shad from Next Step Prosthetics. 5 years ago, we opened our practice to provide life-changing prosthetics that are both comfortable and functional.
I would definitely recommend Shy.
Shy is very compassionate, caring.
We've grown to serve patients throughout Wisconsin. We want to thank them, their families, and providers who have trusted us on their journey.
Go to Next Step because it's going to change your life.
Why wait another day? Call to set up a free, no-obligation evaluation. Let us take the next step together towards a better life.
People had some dandies there.
Time now for Next Step Prosthetics post-game show. Next Step Prosthetics providing prosthetics. Get it here in a second. Next Step Prosthetics providing prosthetics and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. A dominant performance here by the Assumption Royals in both games. 10-0 in game one, highlighted by a 6-run third inning. And that was highlighted by a grand slam by Anna Schooley in the third inning. Macy Fowler doing a nice job in the circle. And then in game two, Royals scratching across quite a few runs in the third inning and getting it done with performances and help from the top 1 through 9 in the batting order.
Yeah, Steve, having watched this Royals team, we had talked against Sevastopol that it was very important that the top 5 hitters, the returning core, be productive for this squad. But what we're starting to see, Jess Norton had an outstanding ball game today, put the ball in play several times. Delaney Hahn continued to use herself as a human shield, reaching base several times. We saw Stofflet, even Kylie Carroll, go ahead and put the ball in place. And I think, the highs and lows that you're getting out of Madison Moss right now are also pretty impressive, as Madison had a nice day with the plate. And I thought really was solid over at first base again today. A lot of those, quote-unquote routine plays are only routine when you go ahead and make them the way that she did. So 2 really good wins for the Royals. Sets themselves up, again, for a 3-1 start in the Merriwood South Conference. With Marathon coming up next, it continues to keep them in a position to go ahead and to control their own destiny with some wins. Obviously, you got Stratford looming. Obviously, the 2 Marathon games are going to be challenging ball games. The 2 Newman Catholic games are going to be challenging. There is no easy night in the Merriwood South, as we've kind of talked before. But overall, I think for this Royals team, 2 things that immediately come to mind. Don't let their record fool you. They're going to be a tough out in that sectional.
Yep.
And, again, with Pacelli and Laconia, maybe they get both, maybe they lose both. But, again, they could theoretically be 3-6, if I'm not mistaken, after the weekend. We'll see what happens with Rib Lake. But it's one of those deals where that's a really good improving team that's kind of coming up there for them.
Yep, absolutely. As we await Anna Schooley, our player of the game, see if she makes her way up here, and we'll have her in our Next Step Prosthetics post-game show. Yeah, and we did it last time. As the Assumption Royals pick up a big doubleheader win here tonight over the Edgar Wildcats. We'll have Anna here in just a moment. Come up and talk to us.
What do we got on the network tomorrow night for some interesting of interest to our fans?
Yeah, you had mentioned it earlier. Stratford Marathon baseball. I'll be over at the Quadplex, Wisconsin Rapids and Merrill baseball at 4:30. A big softball game, Wisconsin Rapids and DC Everest. See if Addie Cluck can continue her domination. River Falls at Eau Claire Memorial. Marinette is at Wapaka. Mosinee at Pacelli softball. Wausau West at Marshfield. No, that was supposed to be today. Got to reconfigure this. Owen Withy at Columbus Catholic and Columbus Catholic at Medford. So all that coming up again, all pending on our all weather pending tomorrow on how all things pan out. We'll take one more quick break, come back with Anna Schooley after this on Zaleski Sports.
Hi, I'm Shai from Next Step Prosthetics. 5 years ago, we opened our practice to provide life-changing prosthetics that are both comfortable and functional.
I would definitely recommend Shai.
Shai is very compassionate, caring.
We've grown to serve patients throughout Wisconsin. We want to thank them, their families, and providers who have trusted us on their journey.
Go to Next Step because it's going to change your life.
Why wait another day? Call to set up a free, no-obligation evaluation. Let us take the next step together towards a better life.
Okay, there we go. Anna, where do you want to stand here? Here, move this. All right, good. Good. All right. Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids here with our Zaleski Sports player of the doubleheader, Anna Schooley, and a big night at the plate. Obviously, a big grand slam in the second game, getting the job done in the grand slam in the first game, getting the job done in the second game. Just talk about the approach coming in tonight.
Yeah, I know. We've had a tough past few games, but we knew what we had to work on coming into this, and I think we executed really well.
3-1 in conference, split against Auburndale last week. Obviously, a sweep here tonight. What is the message? Obviously, a couple of tough non-conference games that you guys have played. It doesn't get any easier on Saturday when you go to Laconia. But what is the message, especially with the young girls, to get the job done in conference, worry about the non-conference later?
Yeah, I think Coach told us to take it one game at a time, and I think that's very important because we don't want to get it to our heads when we win these games, but they're very important, and I think we just need to bring it in the next couple of conference and non-conference games.
We talked about it on the broadcast, getting the job done defensively, the middle for you guys defensively, Claire behind the plate, Ari and Macy in the circles, you at short, and then Ari or Macy at second, and then Lydia in center field. Just talk a little bit about the veteranism, I guess, or the experience that you guys bring to help the younger girls on the corners.
Yeah, we knew coming into this that it would be an adjustment because we have a lot of new faces, but I think we know what it takes to win, and we're trying to bring that to everybody.
We're going to put you in the house, okay? Right. A little different, a little goofier.
Yeah.
But back out of the way. All right, go ahead.
I'm Anna Schooley, and I'm in the house.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Be careful going on the train with your spike scale. Oh, Anna, did you get your free slice of pizza, by the way?
I did, yes.
There you go. Gotta get your free slice.
All right, we'll put that on, then we'll wrap it up. If you want to put it back down here. All right, big thank you to Anna Schooley. Big thank you to everybody here at Robinson Park. Oh, sorry.
Lily Shields coming up to get a little camera time here on Zaleski Sports. Future in the house reference Lily Shields. Lily, did you win your softball game tonight? No. Okay, well, Junior Royals got beat, and now I've embarrassed her, and she's gone. But hi, Lily. Bye, Lily.
All right, with that, we're going to sign things off here from Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids. Assumption 10, Edgar nothing, and Assumption 10, Edgar nothing in the doubleheader sweep. Paul, final thoughts here before we sign off, and Assumption in Cloverbelt crossover, I guess, with Rib Lake's Merriwood crossover team?
Yep, Merriwood crossover team in terms of where it goes. Honestly, Steve, I think sign-off tonight is going to be just a little bit different. Two thoughts. First of all, congratulations to Caitlin Clark. I think that's probably the biggest story in basketball tonight, really in the sports world tonight. So congratulations to her and good luck as she starts that journey. And again, one more time, I just want to extend my condolences and thoughts and prayers to the school district of and the village of Pittsville. The Assumption Royal family mourns for you and your loss. And again, just from all of us here at Zaleski Sports, we want you to know we are thinking about you, and we just wish you and your community well.
Good to said it better myself. Thank you, Paul, for that. We're going to sign things off here from Wisconsin Rapids. Assumption with the sweep. be back with you tomorrow all over the state here on Zaleski Sports. For more baseball, check it out, ZaleskiSports.com. Have a great night, everyone. Steve Mays, Paul Jaglinski here from Wisconsin Rapids. We'll talk to you again tomorrow on Zaleski Sports.